turn myself. Okay. Yes, I knew. Yes. For those of you watching, those of you who are watching. Oh wait, I forgot to do something. Parlay for like a. You know what? I'll be right back again. I'm sorry. I did this way too early. No, startup. No. Yeah, startup back. Let's go back to square one. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody. I know I did a boo boo, and I forgot to post things on the social medias and whatnot. But we already did it. But I got Benkos and Jackie here. You know, we're about to get ready with the podcast. Um, just, I was about to say something. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, reactive. Okay, so for those of you watching right now on Twitch, you may have noticed something really weird. You might notice something really weird right now, and that is the fact that Reactive's not working. Reactive, the site that we use our like avatars so we can like talk and stuff like that all together. It's not working whatsoever. Let me show you guys what's been going on. Where is the podcast? Yeah, if you can see here on the screen right here, like I guess they're having like some server issues on their side. So, yeah, we're gonna be using this screen for right now. So I know usually have images to accompany a lot of like the what we're gonna be talking about in these episodes, but unfortunately, because of that, because like we don't have a because the website is down right now. We don't have we don't have access to that. So yeah, you're on a little you're on a little you're on a little radio right now. You I use the radio as like the avatar for Dave, the robotic assistant. But unfortunately, unfortunately, I had to unplug him for a little bit so you guys can be used here. So yeah. All right, that's enough parlaying. That's enough wasting time. Let's get the bots in and then we can get started because I don't want to waste too much time for either of us. Um. Join. Now, general. All right. Alrighty. Alrighty, guys. So we're all kind of in agreement on what we're going to be discussing today. No other things that we want to bring up. No other things that are on your mind. Anything else before we get started? Alrighty then, guys. We'll get started then with we'll get started with in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to Seiya Cosmocast. I'm your host Ramses, and per usual, I have here Jackie. Oof. Oh, hopefully things went well. Hopefully things went well for you because hopefully there was no opening to like the demonic world from that home from that eclipse or a circus suddenly starts appearing. But that's a sick. All right, fair enough. And then we also got here Denkas. So yeah. Thank you all so much for listening. I figured let me. I know we have a huge influx of new listeners thanks to you guys' participation at the concert. So let me run down the spiel really quick. This is the Saint Seiya Cosmocast, the very first podcast in English to be discussing Saint Seiya in depth. We discuss the news, we discuss episodes, and we discuss the fandom and pretty much everything in general. So if you have time, please give us a like. You know, follow us on all the social medias. We have a website www.stcosmocast.com. Again, the address is www.stcosmocast.com. And you know, we want to hear from you. We have various different ways for you to participate. You can leave us a reply leave us a reply on Twitter or X, if you will. We are on Bluesky. We have you know, you can leave an email. You can email us at questions.stcosmocast.com or use the hashtag KeepBurningThatCosmos, and you can participate in the conversation about anything you want, whether it's the episodes that we're discussing, current events of the news, or anything else that you want us to discuss on the show. We want to hear from you. I'm pointing at a camera that's imaginary because this is a podcast and you're listening to this on something, a device that does not have a camera. That cringe aside, I do really appreciate all the influx of new people coming in, all the new fans and all that stuff. You know, if this is your first time listening, I highly suggest you guys checking out a couple, going back to some of the earlier episodes as well. You know, you're not obligated to, but you know we have a lot of great episodes that you should check out. Some of my favorite ones that you should check out is the Saint Seiya Show episode, and our episodes like the episode on the Flight to the Zodiac movie, and and also our episode breakdown of the Legend of the Sanctuary movie as well was a really fun one. I really enjoyed that early on. And hey, if you want to like learn about a little bit more about our host as well, I think episode 25. That's what kind of like did our kind of like reintroduction because I always every year I kind of like figured like, hey, it's a new year. We want to make sure new people figure out what's up. So you want to know like kind of our introduction and like origins of Saint Seiya. Check out that episode as well. Or you can check out episode 0 back in the All or Nothing Ramses by himself days as well. So you're more than welcome to check all that out. But yeah, we have so here's the breakdown for the episodes for this episode. Originally we were gonna be doing we were originally be just doing the episodes and the discussion of the concert. But we saw the amount of news that we had to go through and I know the conversation of the concert is going to be very, very, very dense. So I called it audible, and those episodes that we were discussing 93 to 94 to 97 will be discussed the following episode. But for now, we're gonna be our main focus today on is gonna be on the news and also on the also on the Pegasus Fantasy Symphonic experience that you two went to, and you two represented the Cosmocast, and I heard so much praise from you guys from all over the place, and like I want to hear from you guys' perspective. Also, too, like we've heard a lot of these comments in Spanish, but but this is gonna be the first time I think someone's gonna be discussing it in English in earnest. So this is gonna be a good way too for like if you've been on the fence on going to Mexico City if they do another one. This is a good way so we can like get more people to be interested in this concert series as well. So that way, so it's like, hey, there is interest from outside of Mexico that wants to get more people to come here. I doubt they're going to be going to like the United States. That's like that's a bridge going crossing too far. But if they decide to do another one, at another venue like in Mexico, or you know, if they want to do at a even bigger venue in Mexico, they at least this will get the word out that like there's going to be people that are interested in that. Yeah, I was gonna say too, like you know, this could also be like a good this is gonna be a really good also like travel lodge. You know, we can sell this to like some we can sell it to like some travel agency. It's like, hey, come to Mexico because this is what Jackie did. But um, but why don't we get started with the news? This is this was kind of something that kind of popped up, kind of like not last minute, but something that like you don't hear. Hold on one second, because I am an idiot, and I forgot to do something on this particular. Oh, you know what? I'll just do it on the screen. Screw it. 'Cause- all right, sorry. Anyways, um, take two. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. No, I had to do I paused like that because I needed to make sure that that there's a stopping point. So okay, here it goes
Got
one more
it.
time. So why don't we get started with the news? And unfortunately, we got some bad news to discuss. and this is something that kind of pertained to the last episode that we did, because like we actually inadvertently started singing this particular song on our last episode, because like we were discussing like openings and stuff like that, and how like how like we didn't get to see like the big reveal in the episode. So it's kind of ironic that it's kind of ironic and kind of sad that like we got this bit of news from that we got this bit of news in that Armando Gian, who did the song in Spanish for like Spanish Spain, has unfortunately passed away. He was the founder of the band called Los Diablos, and he did a lot of that stuff. He did like a lot of translation work. He did a lot of songs for like cartoons and stuff like that for various companies as translating stuff like that for the Spanish market. And of course, he sang the very famous theme song that we sang in the or that you two sang the last episode. So I mean, it's set like, and I believe the original one was Porque Salinas was the one who did it in French, and I believe that was a Monet. I forgot the name of the artist that actually did the original one, but he's the one who sang for our purposes. He's the one that sang the Spanish version that we got to see in Latin America. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's quite sad that that it's quite sad it's passing. Like for a lot of us, we kind of grew up watching it, and that was like as cringe as that song was, it is kind of a cool song in reality. And like I said, he was a drummer, and he was also a composer in the '60s for like I said, the band called Los Diablos. And then he kind of went on and did lot of other stuff, and there's other works for a lot of the other stuff he's done. He's done stuff for Dragon Ball. He did stuff for Heathcliff, Saint Seiya, Doraemon, the Snork, the Littles, the Snorks, the Flintstones, Garfield, Spectre Gadget, and Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon. So those are some of his discography that he's that of some of the theme songs he has composed over the years for other cartoons and other animes as well. So, any thoughts on this, Mechas?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, and may he rest in peace. Like I wasn't really that familiar with some of his other works, but when it comes to Saint Seiya, you can bet that it is definitely, even to a degree, the song that touched more people than even the actual original openings from Japan. Because I know a lot of people that aren't as hardcore into the series, but obviously saw it when it was airing, and that know of it and that like it. And to them, I've known some people that have actually said to me that that's, for as far as they are concerned, the opening and the song for Saint Seiya or for Los Caballeros del Zodiaco. It's very iconic. Both the French and the Spain versions are very iconic, and it has been described, and I tend to agree with it, as a hymn. A hymn? Hymn.
Time.
Oh God.
Uh-huh.
Yes, thank you.
Or like a march
Yeah,
after.
yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
is. I mean, literally I think the name in French is like I think it is translated to the March of the Knights in French. So it's like it is kind of like a so it is kind of like an unofficial marching song.
Yeah, so it has that feeling, and it really has that energy. So it's a very sad thing to learn that he has unfortunately passed away. But trust me when I say that his legacy will continue to live on, and we are,
Oh.
despite the memes and the jokes, I am very thankful to have been able to grow up with that song, and I will always cherish it as well.
Jackie, any thoughts?
What can I say? Yeah, before I knew everything that I know about Saint Seiya now. Back then, that was the song I heard, and it was always stuck in the back of my head. Kind of ironic that me and Makers were jokefully like singing it, and then we heard about this. Well, may he rest in power, and hey, you marked the childhood of pretty much all of Latin America, whether we're big Saint Seiya fans or on the smaller scale, everybody recognizes that song. Do you know there's a Japanese version of the song? I can't remember where I
What?
saw the video. Yeah, apparently I don't know maybe if it was the original French singer, but they redid the song in Japanese.
You gotta find a link to that. You gotta find that. I would love. I kill to listen to that. I swear to God.
I
It's
want to hear that
really,
as
really
well.
good. I was like, damn, it's just
But so as for
it was
me,
really good.
So yeah, no, I really, I like if you can find a link before this episode goes up, I'm posting that definitely. I definitely want to hear that. But as for me, I guess you guys said both right. We all make fun of the song. It is like sometimes you kind of like squirm a little bit. You kind of have that secondhand like embarrassment, but you secretly like it. You secretly like it, and that's sort of like the weird thing about like some of these weird. It's the same thing too with it's like theme songs, especially when they're not from the original source from the Japanese. Sometimes they have that weird way of working where it's not like it's not something that's not something that you like. It's not something you're used to, but it's like at the time and at like for what it's trying to do, it kind of creates that kind of like it kind of does the job, and it does kind of work as an earworm, especially when you're watching the show over and over again for in this case we're watching these episodes for like 114 episodes, as we were growing up. So we had to listen to this over and over. I'm pretty sure to your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters. Also, must have got either fed up listening to that song, or sing it to you to like mess with you, or they secretly really liked it as well. But
Oops.
but it's something that over time, like as the absence of that grows, and like we've seen them actually, because I think now toys a little bit more involved with how they want the presentation to be done, where now they're using a Pegasus Fantasy color from a actual like Latino artist. So that's perfectly fine. But that the original song will always be there, and it's great to see that like he's not just done songs for Saint Seiya, but he's also done so many other songs for so many animes and so many other TV shows. And bless his heart and bless his family. Hopefully things. Hopefully in the future that kind of stuff, like will be recognized from like hopefully his contributions will be recognized a little bit more wider known, other than us, this community that we have. So in other words, basically, I'm saying like hopefully this will get the attention of other fans outside of it, because like there's more like we're gonna be talking about the concert today, and as much as we absolutely adore and love a lot of what Seiji Yokoyama has done, there's more to it, and like I do wish that one day like we can actually kind of explore the stuff outside of the Seiji Yokoyama stuff, or stuff with like some Noah Yamada and stuff like that, because like there's other artists who've done stuff around the world. So hopefully too, one day those he can be part of that echelon of people that actually help influence the sound of Saint Seiya.
Now that's an idea for a future episode.
Mm. Okay, don't quote me on this one. I don't know if that's right, but it sounds like the one I remember hearing. The other one was a full version. This is like the intro, but it sounds right to me. I mean, well, it definitely is. It's gonna be the theme, and it's in Japanese. So
All
you
right.
tell me.
I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it at the end of the show. But even then, I'll still link it to our. We'll still link.
Well, yeah, just give it a quick listen, just for a few. It's not, yeah, like give it a couple seconds. You know what you're hearing without a doubt.
Okay, fine. Let's see. Okay. So full disclosure, there's a podcast that we're streaming a podcast on Twitch as well. So the Twitch viewers might be listening to this. The listeners at home will not. I'm gonna see if I can try to.
I'll definitely look more into this later, but yeah, just listen.
Yeah. Okay. That's enough, because I don't want to like. That's enough, because like I don't want to derail too much of this podcast.
But it's what we
Because that
always
never
do.
happens, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
There goes no episode where we go off topic. But you guys gotta keep a glimpse. Let me post this also here really quick on the chat here on Discord while I set us up for the next topic here. I figured we start with the bad news. Let's go into the good news here. Why don't we talk about
Yeah.
oh, Time Odyssey issue 1. And part 1 has already been published in English. We thought it was going to come out in August, but I think Ablaze had to like delay it. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that they were still trying to negotiate deals or they're trying to like get everything okay from Kurumada Pro. But like, this past Wednesday on the 11th, as this episode goes up, the first issue of Time Odyssey should be available at your local comic book store. So if you haven't picked that up, pick that up. Jackie, as someone that lives here in the United States and hopefully he picked up one, what are your
I need
thoughts?
to go pick it up. I need to go pick it up. I'm so sorry.
Look, we're not.
I've been chaotic after I came back from my trip.
I know, and I was gonna say like I don't blame you either, because like but hey, if any comic book anybody that sells comic books like single issue, hey, we got the podcast so we can actually help you increase sales. But but regardless, like yeah, like I do hope that like do hope that a lot of the fans who at least live in the United States have an opportunity to buy it. Becca, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, like I'm excited that it's finally. Two things. One, I'm very excited that it finally has come out in English. The other publications, like the translations into other languages, have slowly been coming out this year, and I'm actually very happy that English is one of them, and in an official capacity. And even though how to put it. Okay, I'll say it like this: now you can actually boast on the fact that it came out first in the U.S. than in Mexico.
Wow, ow.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes me happy in a weird way as well. If you have the opportunity and you happen to be in that region, like get it. All of the spin-offs of Saint Seiya in general always have something very interesting to offer. I have read Time Odyssey, and trust me when I say it is something worth reading. And while obviously there is a lot of context for people that might not, but obviously if you're a fan, you will know it. But even for people that may not know about the franchise in any other way, it's actually a good entry point because it covers all the essential basics that you need to know for that particular story in a very quick but summarized and good efficient way. So yeah, give it a shot if you have the chance, and if you can convince people that like comic books in general, like it's a very good comic book. It's a very good story, and it's a very interesting story that's going to be unfolding over these 5 volumes. But rest assured, the volume one is a very self-contained story that you don't require too much outside information to enjoy. So please, if you have the opportunity, give it a read. Get it. It's going to be something that you'll be happy to have collected.
Just to let you guys know as well. Apparently this weekend at New York Comic Con, they actually did have a special edition of the book, which is actually the trees cover, with I think with a foil logo on it. So if you were
it's the one with Athena. Ah! This is the cover I want.
Yeah, so like if you're at New York Comic Con, if you're at New York Comic Con, or like you have access to like getting some of the getting these issues, yeah, they had a special edition on sale there on site for it as well. So if you haven't picked it up, then there's like there you go. Yeah, and I'm looking through some of these places, and like it's $3.99. You're like $3.99 at this point. It's like what? That's that's nothing at this point. So it's like, so hey, like
Very good price.
yeah. So if you haven't picked it up, we highly encourage you to pick it up. And like I believe the next issue comes out not it's actually come out I think the end of November. So it's gonna be, so you have like at least like 6 weeks or so, 6 weeks starting from this point to like at least 5 or 6 weeks to like get caught up with it or try to find the issue from like whatever retailer you can find it at. So we have that. So any final thoughts on that before we move on to our next topic?
Nothing new, just to reiterate, if you have the opportunity to get it, do so. Trust me that you will enjoy it.
I will go get it. I promise.
Don't. You don't have to.
No, I do. I want it. I do want it. I just have to.
Yeah, just note, I'm not forcing you to do anything. Just it's a very good recommendation. Very good recommendation.
Uh-huh. But regardless, why don't we move on to something? No, but Jackie, why don't you like I'm gonna volleyball this to you. You're the one who knows a lot about this stuff here. The plushes. We finally got our last batch of plushes. Why don't you break it down for us and tell us what's up with these?
Yeah. the new plushies from Phantom. I should say the third volume of the Goldie plushies are finally up for pre-order, and they look like the others, still very cute. I finally get to see Cameo. What can I say? I'm definitely gonna be ordering that. And let me get you the date. Sorry, should have had them on hand.
That's fine.
But pre-orders are already open, and so this is gonna go by really quick. From what I noticed that I believe by now all of the other ones from the bronze stakes from last year, they are sold out. So unless they do a rerun from them at this point, I think they gain a lot more popularity slowly. And now with the doing the goals, I highly recommend pre-order them because it might be really hard to get them afterwards. They may have very few in stock, and I know some people were able to grab the bronze of even up to 4 or 5 months after they were all released, but preferably if you have the means to, just reserve one right now, just secure. This batch is actually, I'll take that back. The reservations open. They're literally must have opened right now since on 16th Japan time. So that's now, and they all closed on November 13th. So a little bit under a month. So you got some time to plan or however you want to do it. Go through whichever proxy service works best for you.
Yeah, but to reiterate on that, because I trust me when I say that do not underestimate the pre-orders selling out. I thought that when I saw the first plush, I was like, I'm sure there'll be stock. Nope, sold out. I was like, huh.
Yeah, I don't want to
They're more
hold mine back.
popular. Oh, they're both more popular than you would think, and also the quantity in which they make them is not that high. So, if you don't think too much about it, but take the opportunity if you can pre-order them now, because trying to get them afterwards can be a nightmare.
Yeah, and they're definitely worth it out. Later when we didn't get into the concert review, I guess Behax can give you a little bit of review of the Hyoga plushie because he got to see him.
I can tell you firsthand that they are worth it. They are super cute.
That is good. That is good to know that these are not that these are actually kind of high quality books that they're high quality
And some
high quality
they come with
plushies.
gold tax, by the way. They are more expensive than the bronze one.
Of course they are.
Yeah, so like, but I bet you that they'll be worth it regardless.
Oh yeah.
As for me, like I like hey, I'm not really a big plushie guy myself. Like even though I do own like one or two of them, but like that's something for you guys. And I like hey, I know there's huge fans of that stuff. You guys, I'm happy for you guys. I'm happy for you guys. I'm gonna cheer you guys on for it if you guys want to buy it. So thumbs up to you guys.
Send us pictures to tag us whenever you start getting your plush, so we see who got them.
If you can,
Or if
also,
you got any other, if you can, yeah, definitely, we'd love to see them.
if you can too, if you got any cool Saint Seiya merch and you want to post it with like whatever thing you listen to a podcast on, hey, like post it together, making a post on front of your iPhone or your computer or whatever. We want to see that. I don't know what we're gonna get out of it, but we do hope that well, we do want to see all your stuff because like we want to see more participation from you.
Yeah,
Again,
and here's the thing: there's a lot of the not anything that's not the Myth Club figures. It's not like it hasn't really been accounted for what kind of merch might be out there floating around. There's very little known about it. So for all we know, you might have something we never seen, and hey, you might help out somebody that's looking for something else. So there you go.
Yeah. Why don't we move on to our next topic again? Why don't I volleyball this one to you, Jackie? We have here more information about the first issue of Rewrites of Poseidon. And correct me if I'm wrong on this. The first Takabon, the first book of it. It's gonna be I think it will come out November, and it's gonna have
this month.
Yeah. Oh, this month.
This one.
And I believe that it has like special editions for like different retailers.
Yep. I wasn't gonna really pick it up at first, But then they decide to do another story. They decide to give them an extra bonus, and I'm like, damn it. Anyways, so if you decide to you can do this online too. If you pre-order it from, or not even pre-order, as long as you order it while available from Gamers, they're giving you what they're calling an appendix book that has Tetris on the cover. Now I don't know what this appendix books is going to be. I mean, we're talking, it could be like a mini art book. It could be, for all we know, a mini profile book with the characters. It's anyone's guess. As of right now, how do you spell the author's name? Is it
Tsunakan Suda.
Sonic Suda? Yeah, he hasn't given any hints about that, surprisingly. Instead, he showed us a preview of the other stores that's going to have a bonus if you buy them on anime, which, as far as I know, they have not been doing any bonuses with anime before for any Seiya manga releases. So, but if you do purchase it from there, you're going to get an A4 size pencil board that shows all the marina in civilian clothing. And A4 size is it's the same, so your standard clear file. So it's roughly around the size of a letter size. So that's actually pretty big, especially for a pencil board, which, if you don't know what that is, it's just a plastic board you put under a sheet of paper so that the paper below it doesn't get marked as you write. But for everyone's purposes, this is just a collector's item. You want to frame it or display it in some way.
Yeah, I got some.
You know what I love about these types of items is like who in their right mind like that gets them would actually use them for that intended purpose these days.
I in high school I actually got one for free. I actually got a clear file from for One Piece, and I use that all throughout high school.
Hey, I don't blame you. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But then again, that was high school. We weren't thinking like that back then. So,
and I may or may not have gotten some. They might be used for like some very, very important VIP files, like by taxes and stuff like that. So I can make sure it's like, okay, Ramses, these are important. Like, God forbid if this paperwork, like, if you lose this, you're screwed files. Like, my taxes, my like birth certificate and whatnot. So they might be put to use. At least one of them might be put to use for that. But I'll get to that like later on when we get to that discussion.
Remind me to give him the Doko clear file one day whenever I have that, so Doko can judge him.
But that's a look. We're gonna. I'll say this as a fellow streamer says. That's right now we're on the second quarter. That's fourth quarter. That's everything you're talking about is fourth quarter. So let's not worry about that until we get to the fourth quarter. That's a football joke, American football.
Hey, look, for all we know, I may actually be onto something because remember that Jump Festa happens in December, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do at least 2 more goal saints from Saint Seiya. And at this point, it's either gonna be Doku, Aldebaran, or of course Aphrodite and Deathmask. So you guys can start taking your guesses right now. Who's it gonna be?
All right,
Just letting you know.
But
okay, continue.
As I was saying, it's interesting you bring up anime because just recently they actually opened up one. They actually, I can talk. They They actually opened an anime store here in the United States. Like, not, I wouldn't say nearby, but it is somewhere I do frequent a lot, and it is in California. And I'm wondering if
it's in Little Tokyo, right?
No, well, I won't disclose the location because like I don't want to like dox anybody.
Okay, no. I really thought it was in Little Tokyo because I guess just for FYI for people that don't know, Anime started as an online store, I think somewhere in the 2004, so for the US specifically, and they kind of been like on and off. They closed down, opened back up, they closed down secretly, and at some point they opened back up again. On top of that, they continue to have the store within Kinokuniya bookshops.
Okay.
But now this is the first time they've actually opened a physical store somewhere in the US.
Yes.
It's the first one.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so I'm wondering if I walk up to this place, like obviously like not walk up, like if I go there like by some chance, like you think I could be able to like buy it, or you think it's gonna be like, hey, there's only available for Japan, we're sorry, take all their stuff while you're at it.
I mean, honestly, it's the first store, so it's really hard to say. At least based on the web shop, they've never imported any manga. Because that is just through Kinokuniya, that they're the ones that sell the import manga. So I think the anime here is mostly going to have the figures, kind of pretty much what you see on the website.
Yeah.
But the thing with any of this, it goes, the more it grows, the more people support it, the more stuff they can get. But at this point, I think if you want either the anime version, so you have to import it. But I would ask. It never hurts to ask, because ultimately, even if they don't have it, it puts it on people's mind. Like, maybe we should look into this.
Yeah, and again, the world needs more Saint Seiya stuff. Bejas, you have any thoughts?
Agreed. Yeah, on the last part, I don't know how that store would work, but like the more sources to get them, the better.
Yeah, same here. Like I said, in my case, it's like I said, I have access to one, not easily accessible, but it's something like I could go like one day there and check it out. So I'll ask right there and see like if no people ask, maybe we not be able to get something at least. But or at least
but to comment on sorry.
I was gonna say Beckett, go first.
This I apologize for that. Okay, just to comment on the actual, the goodies that come for the volumes. They're being cheeky. You're trying to force like crazy people like me to buy twice, huh? They got it.
Ask the Tommy fans how often they pull that shit on us.
Yeah.
The
good old have 2 different stores giving.
No, we're talking about 5 different stores, so you can decide if it's the current situation is a blessing in disguise or you should be jealous.
You're talking to a guy. You're talking to a guy who collects American toys and American stuff, and you're talking to a guy that's like, oh, this particular Transformer figure is only at Walmart. And this one is at Target. This one's at a drugstore. This one's on Amazon. Then just me crying make it simple, you fools. So no, I know that paint all too well, but but I am interested in at least on the anime end to see if they can bring some of that stuff here, or at least if they can't bring the manga, at least bring some of that the merchant the clear files and stuff like that if we can make them available.
Honestly, I'll tell you this much: you never know, because when I know for a fact, one time I imported some Cardcaptor Sakura stuff that was exclusive from Animate, and that was a pain to get. And then let's just say the next year I went to Anime Expo, and when I visited the Kinokuniya in Little Tokyo, they had the same damn clear files and crap that was exclusive. I was like,
wow. Okay.
So you never know with them what they're gonna do.
All right, fair enough. That's actually that's good to know. That's good to know. That there is a possibility. There is a chance. All right. Why don't we move on to what do you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about MythCloth news, or do you guys want to talk about TV news?
Oh, let's finish with the MythCloth news. I guess we toss it over to Benhouse for that one.
Yeah, Benhouse. Okay, so first things first. I'm gonna volleyball this out to you. So we have finally got our first images of how the box art for the V1 reissues are gonna look like. So I mean, if you haven't noticed, if you don't know about these reissues, these were I think announced back in June, and basically they're just pearlescent versions of a lot of the V1s of MythCloth EX, so the original V1 clots. So, but Benka, tell us a little bit more about what's up with these figures.
Okay, grabbing the ball. A reminder, the figures we already talked about that they're coming out, and it's what you just mentioned. We've known this for a while, that they are re-releasing the original MythClots of the B1s for all the Bronze Saints. So Seiya, Shiryu, Hyoga, Shun, and Nikki with their B1 clots. But it's not the EX line. It's the re-release of the original line, what is called the Saint Clot Myth series. And because they are celebrating the 20th anniversary of the original release, not when these particular figures got released, but of the overall release of that line of figures, one of the events celebrating that 20th anniversary is the re-release of these figures, which are called a revival. I'm not currently. I cannot remember exactly what new they're gonna be having, if anything at all. Usually, like revivals tend to have either a little bit of a better improvement on facial structures or on plastic injection, or maybe they have new features that the previous version did not have, stuff like that. But basically, it's just a re-release of a figure that was already previously out, and instead of doing a restock, well, it's basically a restock in that regard. But these ones, because they're going to be a part of that celebration, they're not going to be having the original boxes that they have, but a very special edition of box art made by none other than the one and only Michi Jimeno for all of them. And that made me hit my head on the wall very, very hard, because originally I wasn't planning on getting them, and now that I've seen the boxes, it's like, fuck, I need them.
And I think too, I think too, for like at least in Japan, at least I believe they're going to be a Tamashi Web exclusive.
Are they? I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if they are, but god damn it, why that? I
But
hate it when they do that.
But again, too, I think this is just for the Japanese ones. I don't know how it's going to be for like international, because I know for a fact a lot of the international stuff when it comes to when sometimes what they'll do with a lot of not a lot of like the online retailer exclusives that they know for a fact will sell better as it's somewhere else offline, or rather it's like not through not through like their website. They'll just release it. I know for a fact when they did a lot of the Dragon Ball figures, a lot of the Dragon Ball figure arts, a lot of them that was Tamashi Web exclusive were actually kind of like mass release here in the United States, and a lot of fans actually kind of reverse imported a lot of those figures.
That could be handled like that. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to be coming out, but I'm definitely going to keep my eye on them, because those box arts look amazing. And obviously, it depends. If you're somebody that likes collecting, that can afford to do so, and if I know a lot of people like that also depends on the individuals. I am somebody, I have stated this before, and I will continue to state it. I am not that big of a fan of the B1s from the anime. Maybe I'm too simplistic or whatever, but I prefer once I saw the original versions made in the manga that are much more simpler and much more minimalistic. A lot of people don't like those, and I completely understand why. It's no question that the anime versions are very, very eye catching, but there's been always something about them that I don't know. Like, I liked them and everything when I was a child, but I've always preferred, even when I was younger, I preferred like the B2s going forward. So I've never really been like too attached to those particular cloths, but it's still something worth having, and it's definitely one of the iconic one of the most iconic visuals from the anime itself. So yeah, having them is definitely something, and especially with these boxes made by Michi Jimenez, something that's very much worth having.
You have any thoughts on this, Jackie?
I did see the art, which is really beautiful. Excuse me, right there. I'm not planning on buying any Miss Claus of Yoga anytime soon, but this is one of those things that makes me split. Should I get, because I'm really only gonna get one. Do I want to get maybe the Godcloth version? Do I want to get the whatever the B1 version or the actual manga version? This is why I hate when they have multiple versions. So of course collectors go for that. So if you were to recommend one to me, which one you would think I should get?
Oof, oh, that's a tough question. Well, speaking only for myself and from my point of view, if you wanted to have like one figure to splunge of Hyoga, like, well, I would say to first think of what is your favorite version of the Sickness Cloth.
Mhm.
But if I could give you my recommendation, I would definitely say to try it and look secondhand for the original color edition of Hyoga using the Goth Cloth.
Yeah, I think that's the one that kind of being leaning more towards the most. Like I don't, yeah, I'm like somewhere in between, but the anime version is okay. But then I've seen like the goth cloth and all, and I'm like kind of feel like splurging towards that one. Okay, point taken. Cool. No, than that, have fun shopping for that, people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
Gonna be
luck
a lot
to
of
anybody trying to
money.
get them. That's true.
But
That too.
yeah, I'm like I'm really happy that they're actually going all out for these figures. I thought there was gonna be straight up reissues, like not reissues, but I thought that was just gonna be like simple repaints with, like I said, they're all pearlescent with like a lot of them have like kind of like a different a very different, like I think the big difference between the ones that they got released and the ones that are more, the ones that they're being released right now is they're a little bit more shinier, a little bit more pearlescent. I would say it's way more evident because like his cloth, like his cloth is white, and instead of being like the traditional white, it's like a pearlescent white. So it kind of has like it kind of has a shine to it. Like it has it kind of has like this weird like metallic shine to it while still being white. So it looks really cool. That said, I'm with Bancos on this one. I am not a fan of the. I'm not a fan of those V1 clocks. As time went on, even though, I think I've mentioned this before. Even as a kid, I just like because I watched the first episodes I watched were the episodes in Asgard, and I was introduced to like the stuff like the tiara and stuff like that. So for me, a lot of stuff that was being shown, I liked a lot of that stuff a lot more than those big clunky helmets. And I would have rather have done them do something with that. Um, what as far but as far as the collectible goes, if you got the money, if you can do it, go for it. It is very very much worth your time for it. Um, is there anything else you guys want to bring up?
Not about this particular figures, but I think that it is also a good jumping point onto the next piece of news that is somewhat related to this, that has to do with the Tamashii Nations.
Go for it.
Very well. Okay, so on the same aisle, so to speak, because of the 20th anniversary that I previously mentioned, the Tamashii Nations that is going to be taking place in Tokyo from November 17th until the 19th is going to be celebrating this line of figures, the Saint Cloth Meat series, with a special stand that's going to be in there. And it looks fantastic. The photos that they have released about this stand look gorgeous. Like it really feels like a love letter to the line of figures and also to Saint Seiya. It looks very wonderful. It's gonna be taking place in Akihabara. I don't remember exactly the venues right now. You can find that information online. And all that I can say is I wish that I'd known the dates earlier so that I could have planned something earlier. But well, what do you know? You can't have everything.
Okay, though, just to let you know, it's going to be held at the Tamashii Nation 2023 is going to be held at it's going to be held from November 17th to November 19th at the Bellasdale Akihabara UDX. And
Thank
like
you.
and it will and like it'll and like again like they're dividing this into 3 floors. They're gonna divide it into like the first floor, which is gonna be the basement, which is gonna be Saint Seiya for this anniversary, the figure world, which is gonna be just the stuff for like their figure arts and whatnot, and the world, which is gonna take up the UDX theater, and also like that second floor, and that's gonna be like primarily like their Gundams and like Code Geass and whatnot that they want to promote. So but yeah, I saw the floor plan. At least it looks incredible. At least how like how they're gonna have everything set up for this, and I really want I really can't wait to see, I can't wait to see like more from this, because like there is still stuff that they haven't revealed just yet. They've been very coy. They've been extremely coy about not talking about putting out they've been extremely coy with not talking about figures from the movie, because I know they were promoting that they're promoting that very 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 strongly, and then like around July they kind of went silent on it, and I have a theory as to like why this is happening, and the fact is like we're kind of on a writer's strike, and that's considered like not a writer's strike. This is like an actor's strike. So it could be considered like if they promote this, it's kind of like something against their rules. So it's like I think they're holding up on information until that ends.
Because they're using the image of an actual actor.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense because like they are making a figure for McKinney for One Piece, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it's like, but regardless, whatever Bandai has plot for that stuff with the movie and stuff like that, for movie figures or even figures in general. I can't wait because I always love like seeing what's coming up new from Tamashi because like I said this before and I'll keep on saying this. Bandai just has me by the balls, grabbing me because like sometimes they'll grab me like with something will always get my attention. Like son of a bitch. Again, like they'll always do that. I can guarantee you there is gonna be like these one or two things that'll be like son of a bitch. I need to buy this, or they announce like some sort of license or something like that. Either it's gonna be a fee arts or like they announce figures for myth class. Where I'm like, okay, fine, you win this round. I'll get your original colored figure. I'll see how I can do about it. Or like but they'll find some way. And the worst part is like knowing that this is the 20th anniversary, they're gonna go. I know they're gonna go like all out. So like they're gonna bounce this now. They're gonna bounce this. So at least something worthwhile there. Or they wouldn't be putting this much effort without showing off at least something without showing something that's gonna be like high like that people are really anticipating.
I would certainly hope so.
I would just why don't we have let's see we have why don't we talk about this? Sume Art had recently got the rights to do Saint Seiya statues, and one of the first statues they announced is going to be a statue of Shiryu in his god cloth. Any thoughts on that, Mechas?
Yeah, like again, these types of statues, like they recently acquired a license, and throughout the year they've been like releasing different ones. They look fantastic. Like as a collectible piece, it's something that definitely, yeah, like you see it and you say, I want to have it. If you look at the pictures online, like it looks absolutely gorgeous. They're one of those like very detailed static figures, like you can't pose them or anything, but they look just amazing. The downside is that they cost like a liver. So
Yeah,
if you have any, well, okay, I will
Probably
refrain
more.
from
No.
encouraging illegal activities. So if you have any ways of acquiring extra income, do try to think so because they do require like thinking outside the box for the income for them.
Okay, so just give you guys an idea. I'm looking at the Iolios figure they have up here on sale. It's a 1/6 scale with the dimensions being of the height of 35 centimeters, the height of 35 centimeters, 29 29 diameter, and 40 of length. So like we're looking about like if we're looking at this in Yankee measurements, that's like around like 3.5 feet. And like that's a sizable figure. That is a statue. That is something you're gonna put outside. That is something you're gonna put outside as a display piece. And this particular one is 435. It's 430. It's 416 euros. So, but you can put a down payment of 103 euros if you really want to. So yeah, I think you can pay that you can pay that in four monthly payments. But it looks incredible. It looks fantastic, and I'm looking at it. It's pretty much the same diameters. It's 22 centimeters wide, 20 centimeters wide, 36 in diameter, and height of 36 centimeters, 43 centimeters. So, that's like a little almost 4 feet from the bottom to the top. A little 4 feet. So again, what you're buying here is you're not getting. This is not just some figure you're gonna like plop you're gonna plop it right in front of It's not just something you're gonna leave in a corner. No, this is a display piece. This is something you're gonna be like, you're gonna put it on a coffee table, and this is gonna be a discussion piece.
Oh yeah,
like you're gonna be like, people are you're gonna have a dinner date, and they're gonna be questioning, why do you have an anime figure right here? I paid 500 fucking euros for this. That's why. I'm making a full 500 euros work. Also, it's 8 kilos, so it's like, oh god, I think you're not gonna knock a small child down with that one. But
my caddies have the weight of that.
Fucking hell! Oh god! Oh, don't say that!
That's a weighty figure.
Yeah. So, any thoughts, Jackie? If you've seen the figure,
It's like one picture of passing. I'm sorry, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I just know that for me, anything that, like that expenses. Oh, thank you. Yeah, let me look at it.
I will say this.
I mean, this looks beautiful by all means, but out
I
of my range, nothing I want to dream about.
I mean, would you get it if it was like say? Would you get it if it was say like yoga?
No,
Fair enough.
that's too much for me. No, I'd rather get myth cloths that are around the 150 mark at most.
Fair
I'm not
enough.
just spend 200 in one myth cloth only because Marion was that hard to find.
Mm.
I'm not gonna pay 300 for you or more, so yeah.
Yeah, I
But
get what you mean.
that's something to think about. If you're finding yourself paying or trying to find secondhand myth cloth figures, you're paying 300, 400. You might as well just get yourself one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they look way more impressive. They look, the statue are just they're impressively like detailed. And I want to say one of the details I love is that you can see like little parts of the Elysium like on the bottom of his feet. It's like grass and like flowers. Like, oh, hey, it's
Yeah,
a
it's
cool.
very detailed.
I love, and you can see like the pillars around him. That is a really cool detail that you can tell that's like where they're fighting at the very end of the series, and that is very, very cool.
I mean, yeah, definitely. If I think for people maybe that are on the fence that I don't want to collect multiple figures, but I would like to have one. I think definitely I would could look. I would invest in something like this. It's more, but think about it. If you just want to have one piece, that's like you totally go out for your one favorite character. That's the way to go. I don't have my phone on me to do the conversion, but this is probably like what about 450, 60 USD.
Pretty much,
So
yeah.
that's still much cheaper than some of these other licensed really big figures they make. They're really more like statues. I've seen anywhere between 600 to 1,000. So, but I think this looks far more gorgeous than some of those $600 something figures I've seen. So, yeah, I think it's definitely worth considering depending on your finances and what do you want to collect.
Mm-hmm. Any final thoughts, Bankas?
Yeah, I wish if I didn't spend already enough money on shit, I would probably definitely try to get them. But yeah, they're gorgeous. There is no question about that.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said before, like these are high ticket items. These are the stuff these are the stuff like you. This is the stuff that I'm a simple man because like I know I'm gonna like break stuff. So like no, I wouldn't buy it because I know the first minute I even like look at it, it's gonna like break off. Something's gonna break off on it. But if I was like insane, if I was like stupid, and I mean stupid rich, and I mean like just I buy everything. I buy every Ferrari at the parking lot at the Ferrari lot. Stupid rich. I'll buy these, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm way more conservative, and I'm with you on a lot of. I'm with you on a lot of this. On a lot of it. It's like if it was me, I buy the myth cloth. But one is more cheaper, and also two is like they're like they don't take up that much space either. Because like they're like most likely if you're like in my case, like if I'm buying one of these statues, like again, this is like a centerpiece. This is a fucking centerpiece. Like this is the thing this is the thing you put like again, this is like you put on display to like show off something. And when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm not a fan of that. I'm a quantity over quantity guy. So I'd rather have like five or six figures take up a shelf than just one big old statue.
I get what you mean, definitely.
Also, too, Jackie, I'm gonna make you cry with this one.
He looks very Ikemen. What?
Sorry, if you don't know, I found the statue of Yoga, the official statue of Yoga, and I'm like, oh wow, it's 600.
Well, he looks very Ikemen.
Anyways, I think that's all for the merch side of things. Like we're gonna be crying, or our wallets are crying. So why don't we move on to like TV and like other stuff before we move on? So why don't we
Alrighty.
go into what do you guys want to tackle first? You guys want to tackle streaming, or you want to tackle like satellite television?
I think the television thing first, and then we can tackle the streaming one.
All right, the Warner Channel in Latin America is about to have their own anime block showing off Dragon Ball Z and Saint Seiya starting the 16th, which is as of the recording. When this actually goes up, it should be on the day. It should be actually up. They should be airing those episodes if you got access to the Warner Channel in like Latin America, either in Mexico or all South America. So, um, this is not an isolated incident. I do know for a fact for a while the Warner Channel and the same Warner Channel, they were airing Dragon Ball. They're pretty much airing everything Dragon Ball. They were airing Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super as well. I think that was like one of the first places that actually was starting to air the new dub of Dragon Ball Super. So it's interesting that they're focusing more and more on bringing anime, bringing these kinds of animes to like to their cable channel. So Bankas, you have access. I think you would have access to this channel. So what are your thoughts?
I'm legitimately surprised because if I have to be completely honest, whenever I think of Warner, anime is not one of the things that comes to my mind. Uh, but on the other hand, I kind of understand why they are investing on it because anime, I think, in the last decade, particularly, has been able to transcend from that very niche perspective in terms of market. Well, but it's always been a very huge market, obviously. There's a reason why it has gone to the point that it is. But what I'm trying to say, I think maybe talking more about the mainstream media know how much of a profit they can make from anime. So seeing all these different companies and these different channels investing on
Hey you.
having anime
Yes,
series
you.
on
This
their
is Dave, the robotic
services
assistant here, to
makes
tell
a
you to
lot of
find more
sense. Like
places
either
to
on
find
their
Ramses
streaming
at.
services or
For
on television, it makes perfect sense
francis.cards.co.
because it's not so much that it has had a resurgence, but more of a they're giving it a focus again that they didn't have like a while ago. Because for example, speaking of anime here in Latin America, obviously a lot of anime we got to watch in open channels, especially here in Mexico. But after a while, particularly in the 2000s, it kind of dried out, and it was very rare to see anime on television. Not impossible, and I'm sure there are very clear examples here and there. But from a very general perspective, like it was something about the topic of conversation that you would have in school, and it stopped being it at some point. Like I remember that the people that like anime, they didn't talk about watching anime in television. They talked about like very specific anime that they got to see on the internet from Japan directly. So that topic of anime being in mainstream television kind of got lost for a while, and I see this as a somewhat of a it's happening again in which they're giving it a focus to try to catch on that market that is very ingenious in my opinion, and you can clearly see like the definitions of demographics in doing that, because so far I don't know if they're doing the same in Warner Brothers for the US, but now that I've seen that this is being done in Latin America specifically, it makes perfect sense to have, because they're presenting it with both Dragon Ball and Saint Seiya, and obviously those would be like the top choices for this particular demographic to have to grab the attention of a public that not only remembers those series but also probably has the income to try to watch them, and also because it's a demography that's very open and that likes very much those franchises, and it's opening a door for other series to come in as well. But yeah, I find it very interesting that more and more channels and services are catching up to this. It's interesting to see.
Um, you and me, Jackie, we live in the United States, and so we don't have access to these things. But what are your thoughts on like for the outsider looking in? What are your thoughts on this bit of news?
I mean, first of all, jumps at me. I'm surprised that there was the whole dry spell in, at least in Mexico, we airing anime on open air TV for so long, because that's one of the things that everybody grows up with and always comes to expect. I mean, versus here, if unless it was actually right now we don't have any kind, not even censored kid anime on open air. Everything is cable.
Cable
So,
or online right now. Everything's going
online or streaming. I don't know if we have a wire channel, but I was thinking along those lines that I guess where does Dragon Ball Super air? Is it? I don't keep up too much with Dragon Ball, so is it on Cartoon Network or
Yes.
through Toonami?
Yeah,
Okay,
Cartoon
that's what I
Network.
was thinking.
Yeah, every
Which
Saturday night.
belongs to Warner, so that's the thing. So I guess that's just the company. And now I don't know where Saint Seiya could possibly. I think Saint Seiya is gonna be just on Crunchyroll. So what I can tell, if I remember correctly, from whatever report that came out earlier this year from Toei, they were saying that they were planning to invest more in Latin America, especially with Dragon Ball and Saint Seiya. So this is probably one of those first moves that they're making towards that kind of investment.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
My perspective, I would think it would be great if you just have a dedicated channel for anime. I know some other countries, like I know in Chile they have a dedicated anime channel, or it's almost 90% anime, which are all the same does from Mexico. But like for example, I guess on demand isn't as big in Mexico yet. Understandable.
Well, I would like to clarify as well that I've been pretty out of television in general for quite some time now. So it could be different. It could have a more a different take on it. But this is as far as my own perspective on it. This is like how I've been seeing it. And I cannot talk for like recent times, but I can definitely say that that dry spell like was a while ago. It was in the 2000s. So I don't really know how much it has changed in recent years. But now that it's being more, how to put it, now that at the very least I'm more in the know of it, like it's nice to see.
Well, you gotta think of the demographics. So since this is like the two big series that pretty much everybody that's in their late 30s, 40s watch, and we're probably the demographic that either would pay for us, more than likely to pay for a subscription, be it streaming or subscribe to cable, whatever. Which I think is the same reason why they decided to give Saint Seiya another shot in the US, because our demographic was reaching that late 30s and 40s, and we're reaching that nostalgia point where looking back that we want to see a lot more of this classic and also we missed out on. So in a way, I think it's all part of Toy. That's what their big goal is: grab that money from our market.
Yeah. So just to let you guys know, they did. I don't know if you're from. I don't know if they have these in Mexico, but I do know for a fact we have here in the United States, and I do know other parts of the world have this. We have what's called a FAST network, which is a free ad-supported streaming television, and it's basically a channel that's dedicated that you put on like Roku or on Fire TV, and Crunchyroll just launched a channel for that dedicated. So it would be interesting if it would be interesting in the near future if Crunchyroll can actually get can put Saint Seiya on their Fast network, like on this particular Fast network, and 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 air it on like not on free. Well, it is free TV, but like you know what I mean. It's through the internet.
Yeah.
But like here, it tells you also too like how different the markets are compared to the United States to say here to Mexico and in South America. In Mexico, they're still relying a lot on they're still relying a lot on like cable and also satellite. So they have so go on.
I was just gonna mention. It's just that I think there's still that mentality here. Not, I don't want to generalize because I legitimately am kind of out of that loop in general. But from what perspective I have, I think that a lot of people like still are kind of are a little bit behind when it comes to new technologies, and a lot of people still, even though access to the internet obviously is very much widespread, there are still a lot of people that either aren't willing to actually pay for an internet service, or that yo ho the internet out of other people, or that they have very limited internet connection, like a lot of people still have copper wire and stuff like that. So
I was gonna say
I suppose the television makes a perfect sense because a lot of people are, and cable it's cheaper than some monthly services of internet. So I suppose that it makes sense to like grab and attack that market. I would be assuming.
Well, yeah, versus the U.S. that most people are trying to literally cut the cable because it's like we pay so much. Cable is still fairly expensive, even if you get the lowest plan. They just find a way to get you with fees, and you still end up watching just as much commercial filled television. So
Yeah, and
there's that.
and I was just say too, in Mexico, I believe like the majority of your services is still like pay for services, where it's like you have to pay this much. You have to pay like X amount of money for this much access, and this will give you this much, and you can only access like your Twitter and Facebook and whatever else social media, and like and if you do streaming, it's gonna be it's gonna be at 300, it's gonna be at it's gonna be at 140, it's gonna be at 140p or something like that, like just to save on bandwidth. So there's still like a lot of those issues where they're still kind of capping a lot of the bandwidth and capping a lot of stuff. At least here in the United States, we don't have that. And that's at least to the advantage. And that's why that's why the stuff like fast networks are kind of very prominent. And that was gonna be my point, where it's like I doubt Saint Seiya will be able to survive in on satellite television, as like satellite or cable television, because one, it's kind of an older show, and so I like it might be a little bit more difficult for them to find a place for an older show like that. And
Mhm.
two, a show like that I think would benefit more if it was airing on these kind of like on these fast networks. That way too. It's like it's something you can just turn on in the background. If it's on, you're watching it, and you can say you can send a link to somebody like, hey, yo, Saint Seiya's on. Like, want to see a few episodes. And I think how they have it set up is they have it set up by blocks. So if they have like a nostalgia block or something like that, it would fit perfectly for that block, or like something that's like a shonen anime, like you can dump this in with with Dragon Ball, or with I don't know, Fairy Tail, or
You
Demon
know,
Slayer.
I can believe that maybe if anything was to air something in Toonami, the Hades arc would probably do well.
It
Could do
would.
better than the classic, because I mean, I'm thinking of the quality of the animation. It's such a big jump from the classic. I mean, yes, it's the same, I guess, for the care, but you can tell the difference in techniques and all that. And the way that it's definitely a bit more modernized. So I think it would do good.
I've been seeing a lot of shorts on YouTube about people talking about the Bleach and the Thousand Year War. I think that like the thing that got me thinking like Saint Seiya could work in that regard is one of the things that I think still kind of surprises a lot of the. I don't want to generalize, but I think many English speaking, particularly the American demographic when it comes to anime, unless it's a show that's very explicitly violent, or that you're watching on Crunchyroll or directly from Yoho the internet, like they kind of not used to seeing a lot of violence and blood on certain series,
Mm-hmm.
and in despite the fact that you can definitely tell and pinpoint the difference in time for when the anime of Saint Seiya was made, even Hades, it still has something very unique that I think, like visually, a lot of series, even modern series with a lot of like astounding animation, don't have. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that if somehow they could grab onto that and try to capture that market without, because I think that's a block for a lot of people. It's like, it looks old, and that's something that I always hated. But I understand, like there are people that cannot uh, cannot enjoy so much something that's so visually aged as some of the series have been. Even though I still think Saint Seiya holds itself in that regard, but I kind of understand that argument. But I think that if you are able to move past that, and if you were able to capitalize on the story itself and those maybe aspects of like, oh, look at the violence, or look at this and that, you could pretty much like grab a certain market with that. And I think that
Yeah.
it would work in the way that you said. They would just need to market it well.
Yeah, but I guess the one thing is that when they put it on Crunchyroll, though, they were able to add one line that was censored for Shiryu, even in when it used to be a Netflix, where he drops
Mm,
an F bombs. They let it pass on Crunchyroll, which I thought it was pretty funny.
slowly but surely.
But yeah, but yeah, I'm glad that the Saint Seiya is gonna get it's getting this much attention. I am happy that they're gonna be putting this much effort. I wish that they put a little bit more effort here in the United States, but que sera, sera, sera. But who knows, You know,
You never know what they got planned.
but also too, also like I said before, the United States is a very different demographic when it comes to like a lot of these types of things because, like I said, in the United States we favor like we favor more the internet, and we want more stuff more readily available on the internet. That's why I think like services like Netflix are a little bit more ubiquitous for that reason. Because that's just a place where you can just like it's a place where you don't have to pay. You're already paying for it. You might as well already be watching it.
No, well, we already mentioned Netflix. Why don't you mention the other news regarding Netflix?
All right, final bit of news from Netflix is that the Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac movie, the live action movie, is going to be released on their services on October 26th, which is like in like two more weeks from this recording. You want to spend a spooky time of the year watching an anime movie that's actually halfway decent? There you go. Jackie, your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna make my mom watch it with me because she can't. She watches everything she can find on Netflix. When she gets bored, she's like, "I can't find anything new." Well, I'm gonna make her watch it with me. She was watching the One Piece series with mom. She said she liked it.
My mom, some time ago was actually watching like this was when it was first on. She was actually watching Cowboy Bebop, the live action one. She was fine. But she's like, I don't get the deal. Why people? I don't get why you kids were into this. And I was like, because it's not the right way you're watching it. But I'm pretty sure if I showed her One Piece, she's like, oh, this is actually really cool. But yeah, my mom's exactly the same way. Where it's like, she'll watch anything on Netflix, like absolutely anything. If we tell her one thing, she will definitely watch it. But go on.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Like, make sure she watches the movie too. Maybe we can get back to each other, get a mom reaction. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make her watch it just so I can get a mom's reaction to the movie.
You know, I'm gonna show you how much like how in the internet I've been, how long I'm like how stupid this is. But I'm like, there used to be, I don't know if you like Benkos might know this, but there was a promotion for Dead Space, I believe for Dead Space 2. And the ad was, your mom hates Dead Space 2. And what it is basically they got these old ladies, and they just watch just the scenes of all the ways you get killed in the game. And they're like, I hate this. It's so violent. Why are kids watching it? Why are all these kids watching these? Why are these kids playing these types of games? I don't like it whatsoever. Except one mom was like, yo, that guy got his head ripped off. That's bad. That's bad. Woo! That mom rolled, by the way. That rolled. So like I'm just imagining now what like your mom hates Saint Seiya.
Well, both of my parents, they know I was Caballeros del Zodíaco because I had the recordings when I was a kid, so they're not unfamiliar with it.
Yeah, but I don't know. My brain went to that, and it tells you like how the brain rot, how like internet brain rot had just rotted me from like with memes and stuff like that. But regardless,
okay, the 26th. When is that? Thursday. 2 weeks from now.
So you need to like stay up on the 25th, like until midnight, and then you can trap them like that.
Yeah.
Bekas, do you have any thoughts on this bit of news?
I do. I think it's a very good thing. The more platforms that the movie gets released on, the better. And speaking specifically of on Netflix, I think that it's a very good thing because just as you just mentioned pretty much the thing that I'm trying to say right now, which is whether people like it or not, contrary to what some people would like you to believe, despite the fact that there are so many live stream services still, and even though Netflix's subscriptions have been dropping recently, it is still, at the very least to this date, the most subscribed platform is streaming service on the world. And that applies to many, many, many different countries. So a lot of people have only Netflix, and that's it. So the movie arriving on this platform, it's a very good thing because not only is it arriving on the platform that has the most users worldwide, but as you just previously mentioned, there are a lot of people that are simply curious as to see something different, something new, something they might not see under other normal circumstances. And I think it's a perfect opportunity for the movie to gain a wider audience and, by extent, for people for the series to grab a new public and to grab a new audience, because even if it's just one person, I'm exaggerating in terms of being like going to the minimum, but even if it's just one person, you're gonna get somebody interested in the series by extension. So the movie being on Netflix, it's a very good thing, because I am sure that it will attract new people, particularly from the English speaking audiences or from other demographics, into the series, because they may watch the movie just out of curiosity and they might enjoy it, and they might get enough interest to realize that, oh, this is part of a bigger franchise, and some of them might get interested into actually watching the original series or reading the manga or whatever. So it's a very good opportunity any way that you want to look at it, and I'm very happy that it's gonna and that's gonna happen. And also, it's also a good opportunity for example, it's become very popular for people, myself included, to sometimes have like movie watch parties over Discord or over others, social media. And Netflix is a service that it's very easy to use to watch movies and stuff. So it's also a good opportunity for people to do those types of things, and with the series, and specifically with the movie. So I'm happy for that. I'm really happy for that.
So a couple of things from my end. One of the things, and I said this before on Twitter, and I'm standing by this tinfoil hat theory. The only reason why they're doing this is because they're capitalizing on the fact that the movie stars McKenyu, and McKenyu is is one of the breakout stars in the One Piece TV show. Like he actually did nail a really good job. He did an amazing job as Zoro. So I'm pretty sure they want to capitalize on the fact that he's in this movie as well. That's also based on an anime. That I wouldn't say the best, but I think Netflix works better for it. I think I think it being on Netflix actually works better for it. But and that's my first thought. And my second thought is well, exactly that. That the like, as much as we could, the problems with the movie could have been fixed by just simply doing one thing, and that's by putting the movie out on Netflix or putting it on a streaming service instead of making people go out to the movie theater. If they would have made the movie like available like this, more readily available on a service that people already have already, I think the movie would have been a lot more successful. And I've seen movies that have commercially bombed get a new life on Netflix because it just randomly one day it was they had it on Netflix, and people started watching and people started like being more interested in it. So I do really appreciate the fact that no more people are gonna have a lot more of an opportunity to like catch the movie and judge for themselves. I still see a lot of people complain, "Oh my god, this is still, oh my god, it's still gonna be like Dragon Ball Evolution." Look,
let it go.
Let it go first and foremost, and second of all, the movie's gonna be right there. You can finally make that decision for yourself, and I will be the first one to say you decide on how you feel about this movie. I say it's a cheesy, made for TV, made for video movie that came out at the wrong time frame. This should have been released It should have been released in 2000. It should have been released in 1993 on VHS, not 2023 at a movie theater. That's how I would have. That's how I sell it to people. And people are like, "Oh, okay, fine." I do know for a fact a lot of people in my circle were really interested in watching because, again, like you have an Asian main actor with McKenyu, and also you have a lot of supporting actors who are very famous as well. And this is exactly the kind of movie I expect from Netflix. Like if you told me, Ramses, describe to a Netflix movie, I'd give them that. I'd say that's a Netflix movie right there. Knights of the Zodiac Knights, that is a Netflix movie to a T.
Funnily enough, it kind of is, since it basically follows the plot of the Netflix CGI remake.
Yeah, but it's still there on Netflix. It's still there on Netflix, so they can watch that afterwards. So, again, some people, I don't get why. I don't get why. I don't get why they didn't sign up for a second season, or why they didn't sign up to keep the series under services when they know they're going to do this. But who knows? Regardless, I hope that with it being more readily available, the complaints of this movie being like a ripoff of being another Dragon Ball Evolution will end. and hopefully it can at least find the audience and at least find something to at least latch onto, like we have, as opposed to just people trashing it.
Yep.
All right. That's all for the news. Is that all for the news? Am I missing anything else before we move on?
No.
I think that's all the news.
Oof. Alrighty then. Why don't we then talk about the concert? I know you guys I know you guys were like really busy with the concert, so I want to start with Jackie. I want to start off because your experience with the concert is like a whirlwind of like everything. So like I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna get to you eventually, Because like, I'm not denying that you had a whirlwind experience as well. But like we're talking about a person that you're talking about Jackie who went from United States to Mexico, and this, and I believe this is your first time, right?
Yep, sure was my first time over there. Oh goodness, quite the learning experience. But I am forever grateful that I had the chance to go to the concert, because I know 1 year ago I was extremely jealous that I wasn't able to go to the first one after seeing everybody's reactions and videos. And this is talking about even me before I even joined the Cosmocast. So yeah. So for me it was kind of most of the trip ended up really being Saint Seiya related. Because for starters, as soon as I got to Mexico, got off the plane, got through immigration and all that fun stuff, as I was talking to the driver that was taking me to the hotel, he's like, "What are you here for?" He's like, "I'm here for the Pegasus Fantasy Caballeros del Zodiaco concert." They're like, what was so funny about the driver that was taking me to the hotel, he's like, "Oh, but that stuff is from when I was a kid." So the main reaction I had from a lot of people every time I told them about the concert was like, "Wait, how old are you?" Nobody believes I'm 40. But a lot of people had heard that the concert was going on, and that you could definitely tell that there was hype in the city for it. If you talk to Randstrom, they at the very least somebody knew that this was a concert that was going to happen. So of course, I'm excited as soon as I get to my hotel and all that. I'm hoping to see Caballeros del Zodiaco on TV and nothing. But I actually got to see a few ads for the anime and mentioning the concert, so that was pretty cool.
Yes, synergy.
Yeah, and then I also got hit with the realization and worried me that, unfortunately, for someone that lives in a city that's hardly above sea level, and then you go to Mexico City, you get hit with above 7,000 feet above sea level worth of height. So I got some altitude sickness.
So you were like,
so that is the first tip I'm gonna tell ever. First and foremost, let's just say if you want to go 5 days to Mexico City, plan, unless you're coming from already somewhere that's high in altitude, plan on ending 2 days, because you're very likely to get hit with some form of altitude sickness. Maybe you're lucky it'll be mild, or it could be bad.
Bring an oxygen mask. Just bring an oxygen tank with you and just like carry that around. Wear a spacesuit. Unless you're from like Denver, and then like then you'll be perfectly fine. That's an American joke.
Pretty much.
That's an American joke. But keep going.
But yeah, so I didn't feel it right away as soon as I got off the plane, because it is pressurized. But I think somewhere around 45 minutes or so once I got into the hotel, and I had requested like a change of rooms or something, and so I'm sitting in the lounge, and then I just start feeling like really incredibly lethargic, like I can't lift my body, like if it's just walking 1 or 2 steps, it's just it takes a whole effort. And it just, then I only realized till like 2 hours later, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's that altitude sickness, because you can look up for yourself the sciencey stuff, but because the air is thinner, like less oxygen in the air, your body needs to adjust. So that's why I'm saying you should always allow for some extra time for your body to adjust.
Yeah,
it was mostly okay. Because the next day I was supposed to meet up with my friend. We were going to go to see some places, and other than that, I went. My main goal was manga hunting for the Saint Seiya Lost Gaiden books, whichever I could find. I was actually lucky enough to find the first one.
Nice.
For the guys. So that was a nice win for me. And this was also at that Freaky Plaza. There's like in downtown Mexico City, to give you general, close to where the Zocalo is and the Fine Arts Museum and all that. There is like there's like 3 otaku shopping centers, if you want to call them that. That there's in a way small now, but they go up 3 floors, and there is so many shops of comics, cosplay, and everything that you can think of.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was
You
gonna
say
say
it. You say it.
I was gonna say it kind of reminds me a lot of how like the Japanese stores are kind of structured, where it's like you go to a dedicated store like Akihabara, and they have like that
Uh-huh.
kind of store where it's like it has cosplay, it has figures, it has stuff, it has like it has like merchandise from like all over the place, and not just from
Yeah,
anime and stuff like that. Like if you go to like Mandarake or Super Potato stuff like that. I think more Super Potato is more for like video games, but when you
yeah,
go
it
to
is. It is.
but you go to one of those stores like you go to like Mandarake, it's like it's a little bit of everything there.
Yeah. So and it's like I only got to see like 10% of it. It doesn't look big at all from the outside, but once you go in and up into the second floors, there's just so many stores like woven into, and they're probably not much bigger than like a newsstand, small newsstand at that, but they are packed. And but, the difficult thing for anyone coming up from it, of course, if you have the language barrier Spanish, then it might make it difficult to shop. But if you really even just want to go in there, it's like trying to think if like you've been just thrown into like a huge conventions dealer's room and everything is like at you. It can be kind of chaotic. I went during non-busy hours, thank goodness. But enough of that. I mean, I share a lot of pictures. So that was my Thursday. My Friday was pretty funny because I went to quickly do some shopping early in the morning because they had announced that they were gonna air Saint Seiya Soul of Gold or Alma. Is it Alma Dorada?
Yes.
Alma Dorada. Okay, yeah. So I'm not big on that anime, but I wanted to hear the dub in Spanish, and it was totally worthwhile. It was a block of 2.5 hours, and as you guys probably saw that I was live tweeting, just random shit posting, but I enjoyed it. It was definitely to my I really had wanted to watch the Saint Seiya anime in Spanish because I still only have those recorded tapes. I know there's some free episodes you can be on Toys Latin American channel, but still, there's just something about watching it live on open air TV, which we don't really have over here. It's like I don't want to worry about turning like making sure my internet is working because it can be weird sometimes with the Roku and all of that and
Yeah,
connect. So
I get you.
and we don't have a dub in English. I would love to see a dub in English, even if I don't like the series that much. It's still fun watching the goalies, and I'm just glad that I caught it. It was fun to see my favorite character. And there's something about watching it on the TV versus something just watching it on your computer screen, unless it's connected to your bigger TV screen or whatever.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to start over to Vegas probably, and we can both talk about the actual concert day. But yeah, you saw guys Saturday morning was making some last minute crafts. And I actually took my time getting to the concert because that bag with the candies was heavy. With all those goodie bags, I was ready to get rid of them. So it's like I was dragging myself just to get up the stairs and get inside the arena.
I'm very sure too, like the high altitude and you trying to like get over, your body still trying to get adjusted to the high altitude and stuff like that wasn't helping.
Oh yeah, especially that first day when me and my friend we just took the subway just to go visiting places. I was like, took 3 I'm like, oh my god, I'm so out of air. Wait for me. It's like horrible. I just feel so bad. I know I'm a slow walker, but still being out of air for like 2-3 steps is just like
okay. Mama Bear has to take a few steps here. Okay,
pretty much. That was like it was sad. I told my friend, I'm sorry, can we please sit and wait. Oh yeah. I'll say my subway stories for it. But what can I say? My friend say if you go, you gotta have the whole experience, right? So you gotta make sure you ride the subway. And boy, did I get the whole experience with that one. Just to buy some manga.
Hey, As long as
What
as
do you
long
think?
as long as you came out unscathed, that means you did perfectly well.
Yeah. I got several volumes of the Gaiden manga, so I can't complain. But yeah,
All
I
right,
was able to make it alive to the concert. So Ben has taken over when you started.
Becca, you started Saturday. You started very early Saturday, don't you? So why don't we get stuff from why don't we get started from your perspective?
All right. Going the day of the concert, or would you
Yeah,
like me to talk
yeah.
a little bit? Okay. Okay. So basically, I was already very excited from the night before, and I was pretty much looking at the entire week towards the concert. So that night, basically just went to sleep, and the moment that my alarm hit 6 o'clock, I woke up immediately. I just took a bath, and then I basically just went off to Mexico City. My objective was to arrive early, and I had this stupid goal that of wanting to be the first one there, and I did. I was the very first person to get to the venue in the entire day.
Salute.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah, but
I get you though. I get what you. I totally understand the play. Like you have to get there early so you won't lose your spot and stuff like that. And even if it means being there like 12, 13 hours beforehand.
yeah, no, I got there for actually one specific reason, and it had to do more with the parking space. The
That's
thing is,
true.
last year I and several other people complained about the fact that we were not provided enough information as to how because I knew that the arena had a parking spot, but they never told us last year. I'm talking about last year's concert. They never gave the information out as to exactly what time they were going to be opening or what time you could get in with your car. So basically, I arrive and they tell us, no, it's closed. They're not going to open until 5 p.m. And I had to basically find somewhere to park around there in the area. And in Mexico City, it's a bit complicated because there are parts that they don't necessarily tell you, but if you park there, you could even get like a parking ticket or stuff like that. So it's always kind of iffy, parking around in the city. You never really know where you're safe, so to speak. So I wanted to get there early this year so I could properly park somewhere near because now I knew because this time they gave the information that the parking space was going to open at 1 p.m. But because I was going to take my car, I was like, okay, I want to get there early so I can park somewhere near without, having to worry about looking for space and so that I can and also to be there and be able to hang out and also interact with people as they are coming in. And it paid off because despite the fact that I arrived there at basically 8:50 a.m. A lot of people started to arrive slowly but surely, pretty much around 9:15, 9:30 a.m. Like I remember there were
Wow.
these the next people to arrive was I am sorry, I've forgotten his name, but it was a pair of cousins, and they came from outside of the city as well, and they weren't able to come to the first concert, but they were able to secure both the oh god, the divine ticket,
Oh wow.
both of them. So the both of them got the meet and greet and the extra things.
And you guys
uh,
were told to be there pretty early too for the meet and greet, right?
yeah, we had to be there it started at 1:45 p.m. more or less, but you had to be there like at latest at 1:30 so that you could get into the venue, and then like the people that had the divine ticket could slowly by groups go in and take the pictures with the artists. But yes, I was able to talk with them a little bit. They were very enthusiastic about it. You could see like more people arriving. The people started to make a line, and familiar faces started to pop out. The Juninis arrived, and I started to talk with them. Then Mati from Saint Seiya Mid Cloud Experience, as well as Doga arrived, and like a lot of people arrived, and it just became a party. It became a party because we were all having fun, like talking and interacting even before we got into the venue. You could hear the you could hear some of the songs being practiced. What's it called when they do
Sound
the
test.
performance before? Yeah, thank you. You could hear the sound test for those songs for some of them, like from outside of the video, and it was really cool. Like it was very amazing, and it just kept building excitement towards being able to enter.
So so you met some of the fans there. So some of like yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of I'm seeing a lot of stuff right here of a lot of a lot of fans that were there, that you met. Like it's like Suninis, the Doga. I believe Zaichi was there as well. The guy I helped the game out for. I think he was there too.
Yes, he was. He was.
Yes, Seichi was there. I didn't know like what he looked like, so I didn't recognize him until later, and I wasn't able to meet him, which is unfortunate. But he was there as well.
Oh, that sucks. And I know too. Pollux, he was there. I know he was there, but he was actually there as part of TV Azteca because he's working with them in conjunction, with like doing a lot of stuff with them. So like, he was like the dude must have been like extremely busy trying to get everything together. Also trying to coordinate everything with like not just coordinate stuff with the fans, but also coordinate stuff like with the television network as well. So I'm pretty sure you guys had I'm pretty sure that was pretty much a nightmare for him as well. So like around what time did you two started meeting up?
It was around like at what time did you get in, Jackie? I forget.
A little bit after 3:30. So you and me probably met up around 4 inside because as soon as I got through the security check, I got my swag back, and in less than 5 seconds, the damn thing ripped.
Yeah.
So I am carrying my goodies. I'm carrying the candy bag and my Ita bag, and I'm trying to slowly make my way to the merch area, which seems like it was a mile away. And I'm just crying to Vegas for help. Come and save me. I could barely hold that gold Schwab bag.
Yeah, I've been here. I heard a lot of people were complaining about that, and believe it or not, I had a similar experience with that. Like, I had a similar experience with that at San Diego Comic Con. So I understand 1000% your pain. Like I like when I started seeing pictures of it, and you were telling me, and you were talking about that too, Jackie. I was like, oh, I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my soul. Like, oh god.
Mine, and I know a lot of people said that mine have probably one of the worst ribs from what people were sharing. It was like, Jesus Christ. Actually, it's still nicely ripped there. I don't know how I'm gonna somewhat try to fix it, but anyway. But Beja's recommendation, I went to the merch line because it was actually really short, and he mentioned some of the stuff was selling. Not that I was planning to get much; I was mostly just getting the notebooks. But yeah, I'm glad I did go as soon as I got in because when everybody else that wasn't all the other sections when they came in, that merch line con was long.
I can imagine.
Like, it was like at least halfway around the venue. I was like, Jesus Christ.
As someone that frequents going. I don't go to many concerts, but I go to like a lot of sporting events, and I go to like a lot of like wrestling events as well. I know the pain of like, okay, if I get there early, I can get at least a shirt or two, and maybe I might get a glimpse of guys. But if I get there like 10, 20 minutes before bell time, that line is gonna be like wrapped around the arena, like, ugh. So I understand that pain. I understand that pain very well.
So I wasn't able to get the Divine Zone ticket. I'm like, at the very least, I'm glad my ticket was still VIP earlier entrance. This Gold Zone because I would have not lasted that line con, especially when some was came those. But anyway, as soon as I got my merch, I'm like, let me just find the first place that I can sit. I actually had already met a couple of fans. Somebody I think from the Seiya USA group on Facebook.
Oh.
And they recognized me from me advertising the candy that I was passing out. So of course it took some selfies right away. People were really wanted those chocolates.
Oh yeah, they definitely did.
What did you bring? Like the diapers or something?
I don't know. People just really wanted to. I mean, I show you that one tweet. Some person were like, summoning circle or something.
But yeah. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I saw that Twitter post of like summoning, doing a ritual circle so that I have the chance to meet Flower Miko tomorrow at the concert. I was like, hell yeah.
That is so cool. But like, but yeah, like you mentioned to me, like like, hey, putting something extra like that, like candy and stuff like that, would be beneficial. And hey, you're absolutely correct on that one. You hit a home run on that one.
Yeah, I mean, Get Back, you always do at least a little bit of candy, but man, I don't know, maybe it was just the whole concert hype. People were really great with chocolate.
I'm pretty sure.
But yes,
One.
no, I was gonna say that. Yeah, I think there was. I think a couple more people that there was somebody. Yeah, that guy. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. I'm so sorry. I met so many people, but so just over that the people were so receptive to all the postcards, all the handmade stuff, and that just made me really, really happy because they were small things. So I wish I could have actually done more of that to give out some actual merch, but it I just appreciate how welcoming everybody was. That everybody I met, many people probably don't remember the names, but whenever I saw pop up on Twitter that they got this from us, that just really light up my day.
Whenever someone posted something, I keep on looking to say if anybody still has pictures, if anybody still has stuff they want to share from that you got from either Jackie or from Bencast, tag us on Twitter. Use the hashtag keep bringing that Cosmos. I'm still looking for a lot of them, and even today, even after like a week after even a couple weeks after the concert, I'm still seeing a lot of pictures from it. I'm still seeing a lot of stuff that you guys gave away as well as part of it. And it makes me happy that you guys' efforts went this far. And I'll talk a little bit more in depth when it comes time. But
anyway, that's what I'm gonna say. But after that, pretty much that's when I just sat next to somewhere they were selling some popcorn, and Beck just came to find me.
Oh, that's
to my rescue and give me another bag because I just could not deal anymore with the one I had that ripped.
Oh yeah. And unlike Comic-Con where it's like you can ask nicely, like, you like mine, Roop? Can you give me another one? I'm pretty sure no, we kind of have a limited number of these. Like we only counted the ones only for the. We only counted the ones only for the people that are in Gold Zone, and unfortunately, once you get one, that's it. So it's like they didn't have any extras on hand. So I'm pretty sure that was another mess and a half. But Bankus, you got to meet Jackie, but also too you got to meet Nobuo Yamada, and you got to meet Yumi
Matsuzawa.
Not Yumi Matsuzawa as well. So why don't we'll pick whatever ones you want to start up first with, either meeting with Jackie or going to the meeting and greet.
Okay, I want to talk about the meeting with Jackie because because it was really it was a really happy moment, like meeting her, and also to like go on her talking about that, and then I can return to the meet and greet because that happened before we met.
Okay.
So basically, yeah. By that time, I'm already in the venue. I've been for a while. I've been like moving around and stuff, and I know that she's in the venue because I'm checking the. Discord and Twitter, and that's when after a while I go and find her, and yeah, it was very very happy because she was already sitting down in that corner near where the store was, and I start to arrive and I said something to you in English so that you could recognize me, but I don't remember what I said, and
remember, but it's because I saw you and I what you look. I was just looking for what you look like.
Yeah, and so she just looks up and she's like, "Hey Ben," and then we hug each other. It was so sweet. Like it was like, oh, finally after all this time, we finally get to meet each other in person.
That's how it always is, man. Like finally, like it's weird. I mean, and just like as this would be something like nowadays, like when it's very rare to find. It's very rare nowadays because like we're all so connected. But there's still situations like this where you don't know you never seen the person, you don't ever see the person that you're with sometimes when you're doing these types of podcasts, and finally getting to meet finally coming together to like meet that person is like a magical moment.
It is. It really is. I was like, especially for me, got me like going there all by myself because many people came in groups, so they had somebody they knew. I mean, but me and my husband never met up to that point, so somebody by themselves, it just felt a lot more comforting, and just it just gave me that sense of like extra safety. Not that I was worried about that, but knowing I had a buddy with me. So
yeah,
we were just.
I did feel really good. Also helping you out when I saw like the issue that you had with the bag, and me being a wonder of 1,000 things up my sleeve. I was able to help out with that as well.
Yes, he is. And I told Vegas, like, here, take half of this. Go pass it. Just go pass it out. We need to empty this bag.
Yeah, and then Jackie gave me some of the cards and some of the postcards, and I went and I gave them to a few of the people that I had already talked to, and they were very happy receiving them. I told them about it, and like many of them were really happy
He sent
to
a
get
few
them as
people
well.
my way before he came back with Netza the Capricornio from the
Yeah, yeah.
Huminis, who interviewed me as well.
Yeah, because like when you told me that Netza was looking for you, I was like, oh wait, I know where he is, and I went for him and I told him, hey, you know Jackie, my partner in the show, like she's right here. I know where she is. Like, and she told me that you want to meet her. Oh yeah, please, tell me where she is. And then I took Netza to where Jackie was, and that's when they began talking, and then the interview took place.
Yeah. On that small note, I don't think they put up the interview that they did with me. Likely, there's gonna be a fourth video. That may be the last one. I don't know, but there's that one when I'm in, and there's a final one after the concert where both me and Ben has get interviewed together.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll release it eventually, but since they had so many interviews, that's probably why it hasn't.
Yeah, I think they
appeared
had a
yet.
lot more than they realized. That's why.
Not just that too.
Yeah.
I think too. Didn't they have access to talking? Did they have access to talking to Yumi Matsuzawa and Nobu Yamada as well?
Yeah.
With the Nobuo, no, but they were able to get an interview with Yumi Matsuzawa.
Okay.
That interview is already in their channel.
Yeah. So they were busy, just being the Huninis, just being amazing. There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I have a sticker of them on my quote unquote laptop. That as like a dedication to them.
And you know what? I mean, I don't know what the shrine that you gave me for mine. Turns out there was a Umini coin in there. I don't know if they gave it to you, and I completely forgot about it. So I'm sorry, but I have your coin.
Don't worry, it's in a safe place.
Well, I'm gonna make a display for it too. So yeah, that's all good.
So why don't we get into the meeting, because I know there was a couple of issues.
The issues about the meet and greet, there were a couple issues as well. But to give a little bit of context, because we didn't really explain like the issue with the bag. We talked about the swag bag in, I don't remember, was it the previous episode or the one where we were talking about the merchandise?
I think it was like the one at the top. I think it was the one in early September that we're discussing about it.
Yeah, well, basically in that episode we mentioned, and I basically sold the swag bag as being really, really good, and I still stand by that. But unfortunately, on this concert, here's the thing: there were 3 swag bags in this concert. The models from the previous one that were still left in stock that they resold in this concert, and a new one that was specifically made for people that purchase either a Divine or a Gold Zone ticket. That was made in the look of the Pandora's box for the Sagittarius gold cloth.
Mm-hmm.
That looks gorgeous. Like, it looks fantastic visually. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened this year when it comes to the quality of them, but unfortunately, as you mentioned previously, and as unfortunately Jackie experienced firsthand, many of them were quite defective, and many of them were very what's the
They
word I'm looking for?
ripped.
They're susceptible.
Yeah,
They're very
let me
susceptible to
see.
ripping.
They weren't sturdy at all.
Yeah, mine ripped like if you would rip a sheet of paper. That's how bad it was.
That sounds like that sounds exactly like the same one I got from San Diego Comic Con, where it's like I put it on once and I hear like a rip. I'm like, oh, I hope that's not the bag. And then later on, like the rip was like literally half the bag. I'm like,
I put it on like when it had nothing in it. I put it over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Rip.
yeah, no.
Flimsy is the adjective I was looking for.
Yeah, no.
And I actually realized, like, I immediately knew something was different, like, the moment that they gave me one, because I put it on, and it did not break. Mine was, fortunately, I was able to, like, keep it intact, even though I wore it the entire concert. But the first sign of, like, this feels different for me was one of the, because the way that you close it on the top, it's through, what do you call them, Jackie? Those,
Rivets?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's through rivets. And the ones in the previous bags, they close and they don't open easily. Like, you have to put a little bit of force in them, so they close quite well. But this one, I closed them, I put it on, and puck, immediately one opens. I was like, huh? Weird. I close it again, and then after a while, again, puck, and I was like, huh. So this one is not as good as the previous one. I was like, oh, well, whatever.
Again, you're describing the exact same nightmare I've been having with the bags from San Diego Comic Con. Oh my god, they must have gotten it from the same vendor, and I'm pretty sure that same vendor gave you guys the same. Oh my god, keep going.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically,
I'm gonna check a
just to be
picture
very
of
clear,
mine
just to be
later.
very clear, this is not a criticism on the staff of the
No,
of Anime Music Lab.
no,
This is obviously and unfortunately something to do with their supplier. That
yes,
Yeah.
obviously they probably made the ones last year, and last year's were perfectly fine. They're astounding. They're very good. But this year's, as apparently the batch made this year, something must have happened because the quality of them was just not good at all. And
yeah,
yeah, once Jackie shares, like she shared her pictures on Twitter, but once we share them as well here on the program, yeah, you can definitely see that very difference in quality, unfortunately. So it was a shame because a lot of people got to experience that firsthand, ourselves included in a way. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
and
was
if,
very
even if
unfortunate.
you like compare them the way the material of the Divine Zone Gold Zone one versus like the ones you could buy, you could tell that the gold one was actually thinner too. So
Yeah, it was
yeah,
noticeable.
it was
So
really noticeable.
so unfortunately, even though the other ones, the ones that you was it's you also I sent you ones, right, Ramses? So you have them as
yeah. I
well.
have them. Yes,
Okay, okay. So those ones you can actually use. Obviously, you cannot put like very, very heavy stuff on it, but you can actually use to like carry stuff around. But this one, like the Sagittarius one, it's a display. Like it's a I have it. It's a memory kind of thing. It's not a
yeah.
don't use it. Just don't use it.
Yeah,
No,
pretty much. I'm gonna just try to fix it just to maybe display it or something. But yeah,
yeah,
for
like
use.
the one that he gave me at Comic Con, I literally threw away, and I did not put anything in that bag, in the second bag, because I knew for a fact if I put anything else in this bag, I was afraid something would break. So I thankfully I had another bag with me to carry stuff with me, and then like other like at Comic Con, you can't like throw you can't throw Seiya and land in his head without hitting someone's giving you some a swag bag for whatever they're trying to sell you there at Comic Con. So that's the good news. So, but I did get the ones that I did notice because like I did notice the ones that were different materials. And I touched and I was looking at the one I got from Comic Con. It's like, yeah, this is like like the one at Comic Con is like you have to pray to God that this work that this is gonna hold up. But meanwhile, the ones from like last year is like yeah, these feel like I can like stuff at least a couple of my model kits, which I did. That's what I did. I was like I took a lot of the model kits I've been storing up and that's sort of like my 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 backlog of shame bag. Where it's like, yeah, this is where I'm gonna put the stuff I know I'm gonna get around in like 2027.
You got 4 years.
But but going back, going back to Bangkok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meet and greet.
As okay, okay, yeah, that was to give a little bit of context regarding the bag so that you could understand what we were talking about. Okay, going back because this took place. Okay, basically the way that it worked is the people that got the Divine Zone ticket had to be there by 1 p.m. because that was the time in which they were gonna start allowing us to get into the venue, so we could get into the meet and greet. And while obviously it didn't really, well, it mattered in the sense of like, depending on the order that you got or how early or late you got, because there was already a line forming, it would also mean like exactly when would you would pass and get to meet Yumi Matsusawa and Nobuo Yamada in the meet and greet. I, fortunately, because I was the very first person to be there in the venue, I got to be the third one in line
Oh,
to
cool.
the meet and greet. The reason for that being that I actually took some stuff. Obviously, I took the medals that I gave in the concert, and I took a couple of other things as well. So I had a deodorant with me and other personal hygiene stuff. So they checked my bag, and they were checking obviously that I didn't have anything illegal in or something dangerous
Yeah.
or something. So they took a little bit of time, not a little bit of time. They checked me, and that's why the other people, the ones that were behind me, got in before me. But it didn't really matter in the end. I was the third person to be there in the meet and greet. So they get us in line a little bit late, by the way, because they told us they were going to start allowing us in by 1 p.m. and they didn't let us in until like 1:25 p.m. or something. So yeah, we had to be there in line for a while. But that worked for me because that gave me time to like, hey, I gotta go park my car real quickly in the venue. And like sure, go ahead. Like, and I went running. That was a mistake. That was a mistake because I went running towards my car and I destroyed my throat by doing that. I shouldn't have run at top of my speed. And I get into my car and then I get it into the venue. And then after that was funny because I go there, I park my car, and then I find Pollux lost in the parking lot.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was the actually only time I was able to meet him in that day because he was so busy the entirety of the day. But when he arrived more or less at 1 p.m. and he was also like kind of crazy and he got lost in the parking space. It's like, how do I return to the venue? I was like, oh, you have to go through here, and we were talking on the way back. So yeah, that's how I got to meet Pollux, and
Oh,
that's when I gave him the gifts that I was carrying.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's you guys shared a Spinal Tap moment. That's awesome.
Yeah, we shared a Spinal Tap moment. Then he
Anyways,
then he got to talking to some people, and then I got back in line. But yeah, it was really funny.
that's insane. But so yeah, so you parked your car. You got everything situated, and
Yeah,
you got
I get
you got
back in line. Yeah,
and you.
I basically get back in line. Yeah, sorry.
No, I was gonna say keep going.
Okay, I get back in line, and then they finally allow us in, and basically they just have us in line, and they allow us to pass because we had to go to the lower part of the venue because the entrance to the what looked like the room that they used for the photographs was in the a little bit closer to the dressing rooms. So
Mhm.
we had to go through that part, like on the lower side of the venue, where the entrance to the lower part of the arena is also as well. So basically, we were there, and they had us in line, and we were waiting. They had us like waiting for about 10 or 15 minutes or so because they were getting ready for the meet and greet. And then finally, it started. I'll tell my experience first, and then I'll tell something that a lot of people felt. Not me, but okay. Let me first describe this. Okay, they start to allow us to pass, and the way that it worked is you got to pass. And you first passed because there were three people in the meet and greet. It was Mauren Mendo, who is the Latin American official singer for the Saint Seiya music. Then he was on one side, and then like on the other side, it was with both Nobuo Yamada and with Yumi Matsuzawa. So it was so that you can take a picture with both of them. And obviously, like the couple in front of me, the couple of cousins pass in front of me first. They do it with Mauren. They pass with Yumi Matsuzawa, and obviously it's individual. So one passes first, and then another, and so on. So I get to pass, and then I meet Mauren, and he tells me, "Oh, yeah, like it's awesome that you're here. I hope that you have a fantastic time here." And I told him, "Yeah, thank you, man. Like it's awesome to be here, and thank you very much for it. I love your work, and I love to be here. I can't wait for the show." And then I take a picture with Mauren, and then I pass on with Yumi Matsuzawa and Nobuo Yamada. Something that I forgot to tell you first. Unfortunately, one thing that and it has been described as a criticism originally when they mentioned how the dynamic was going to be with the guests about the meet and greet. They sold it as that you were gonna have like at the very least a minute to interact with them, like individually, to exchange a couple of words with them and stuff. But in reality, the way that it was handled is that basically you got in, you took your picture, then you took the picture with the Japanese artist, and then it's like, okay, now go off, fuck off.
Oh fuck.
So it was like very express, like kind of like, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, bye bye. Like that. It was really, really lightning fast. Fortunately, when I passed with Nobuo Yamada and Yumi Matsuzawa, I was able to like say a couple words in Japanese to them. I just told them I've been studying Japanese for a while, and even though I'm still in a very basic learning level, I was able to express to them like, "Thank you for your effort. Thank you very much for coming to Mexico, and just once again, thank you very much." And then I take the picture, I smile for the camera, and then I say thank you very much, and then I leave.
All right.
And yeah, and that was basically the meet and greet, which is now something that I want to touch upon because a lot of people, Pollux included, were very upset. I don't want to say angry, but I can at the very least say upset at how rushed it was. Which it's kind of a double-edged sword because on the one hand, I completely understand it. Like
It was
it was
200
about around
people.
yeah, it was around 200 people. Like it was impossible for like it would have extended way too long, and it would have been draining for the artist to like have it any other way. And in that regard, I kind of understand it. It didn't really affect me too much. Like it didn't affect my experience at all. To me, it was magical. It was amazing. Like it was a dream come true being able to talk with them, and even if it was just a couple of words, and just having the picture for me made the ticket. Like the price of the ticket was paid by having that picture. But I completely understand why that criticism and that feeling of being upset arises from because it was very much like it was very very fast. You didn't really get to spend too much time with them, and they originally sold it in a different way. So if you want to go to the extremes, you could even say that it was false advertisement. So, yeah, a lot of people were not happy about the meet and greet in that regard of how it was handled.
Yeah, I remember. I was sitting on the I was you were recently a guest on Universal Saint Seiya about this, and like I heard a lot of the complaints from there. But it's like when I started hearing about that, I like it, and this is like my from my perspective, I because like I they too also did the same thing with me at San Diego Comic Con. It's just it because of COVID protocols and also because of protocols with like different things. It's like how do you manage like 200 people? Then not and how do you manage all those people at the same time? Yeah, for time reasons, like yeah, unfortunately, you guys kind of have to like be like that. So like I completely so I see their point, but I also see the point of like it was promoted one
Yeah,
way.
and also the thing is that what the label requires them that they can or cannot do. This are however they work out their contracts. So
Yeah,
to be honest, compared to how strict they are in Japan, even getting a picture that close, it's a pretty big deal. Which
yeah,
it's unfortunate. You have to look at it from. Of course, you know how Latin America we're very up close and personal, and then Japan is very
hands off.
tense off. So um, but I do agree, at least because I did listen to I did watch the video of in your interview with Universal Saint saying, I do think, yeah, a minute definitely would have been way too much for 200 people. 200 minutes, you do the math. That's way more than 2 hours, obviously. But even 10 seconds can be a lot. They should at least been able to let you, you know, uh, pause it, not in a rush and be able to say, thank you so much for coming here. It's nice to meet you. But it sounds to me from what everybody was saying that you didn't even get to do that much. So I think that's something that should be fixed on next time. I think even giving 10 seconds to secure 10 seconds to everybody to at least exchange a couple of words would have meant a lot.
Hell, I would have if it was me. I would have what I would have done is I would have kept it the same and had like an agent right there to take like some of the stuff that we want them like if you have like a gift or some of the best you want to give to them, have presented to them in that way they can at least take it on their own time and like look at it or have it with them.
Yes, I agree. And actually, I've done that for once. I met a Japanese guest. I don't know if anybody knows him that's listens, but well, actually, I take that back. You probably wouldn't know him, Toshihiko Seki, who
Oh
was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Milo.
Yes.
I have met him in person and actually gave him a gift that I handed to his handler and translator, and she later gave it to him.
Yeah, so it's like yeah, so if they would have handled it like that, then yeah, definitely.
That would have been so. I think it's something that definitely could be improved upon. Nonetheless, way to go, Ben, because at least you got to meet them.
And it dawned on
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
it dawned on me who the
Trust-
it dawned on me who Toshimiki Seki is, and I'm like, oh no, you met Momotaros from Deno. Oh god damn it. Hey, let's keep going.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Trust me, like despite the valid criticism that experience in itself had, to me it was fantastic. Like it was I guess I still feel the excitement of it, even if even if have never the opportunity to meet them again, which I hope that I have in the future. That to me, like that already made a dream come true, and I was able to, even if briefly, I was able to express myself to them. So I'm very happy for the opportunity.
That's
to have
gonna
done
stay
so.
with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
it's that 1 second, you're gonna have that photographic memory in your mind, and you got the actual
Yeah.
picture too.
Yeah, and I'm giving my dummy smile there, but I love it.
Yeah, but also
No, I love it. You were happy. You were just radiating that happiness, that excitement.
Well, I was gonna say too. It's like I'm pretty sure you're running on adrenaline and like when whatever you had to drink for like whatever you had to do to keep yourself awake as well. So it's like whatever you had to like keep yourself awake on. That's a face of like yeah I did this, but like I'm pretty sure the minute I get home I'm gonna crash and it's gonna be like 3 weeks later.
Speaking of, actually, now that you touch upon that, actually, I want to say that it's I don't understand how like I run on pure adrenaline sometimes because I actually on my way I told you I woke up at 6 a.m. and I just went directly to Mexico City. I did stop by. There's a Starbucks on the highway there, and I stopped by and I didn't drink coffee. I drank a hot chocolate and I ate a baguette, but that's all I had for food. that fucking day. I didn't eat anything at
That's
all
how
until I
conventions
returned.
are. Sometimes you really just
Yeah.
your body just finds that adrenaline that it's been storing somewhere unknown in your body for how knows how many years, and it's like, oh, it's time.
I've done that
Yeah,
before as a veteran of doing many anime and many anime and many comic conventions. You're describing a typical Friday for me at a convention.
Yep,
yeah, it was
I
like
can
that.
vouch for it.
And it was amazing. Don't get me wrong.
No,
It was a really high experience, but the pure joy and the adrenaline of being there just kept me alive the entire time, even though I was like 110 the entire day.
all right. So, did you guys do anything else? Did you guys meet anybody else of particular note you guys want to bring up before we actually get to the concert itself?
Oh, I met so many people there, man. Like most of the people that you saw that were present at the again. Well, I'd like to take this opportunity again to thank the Universal Saint Seiya podcast for having me as a guest. But basically, I met most of the people that were there as guests. I was able to, as I told earlier, I met Mati from Saint Seiya Mythical Experience. I met Durdo from Doga. I met, I was able to meet Naija the Dragon once again. I was able to meet Ruben from Relecturas de Saint Seiya, who has a very good channel like does very psychological and philosophical takes on the characters and on the storyline of Saint Seiya. I was able to meet Octavio from El Octavo Sentido.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to meet one of the personnel from Hakuren.
Oh,
I
that's
know
Oh,
cool.
I know
nice.
yeah, I
They
know more
were
of them were
there.
there, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet them. Like I didn't get to meet the illustrators, but I was able to meet one of the. I think the person that helps them with the voice acting casting. So she was very nice. Like so I met her. I was able to meet. Both Jackie and I. Even though it was like for a second, but we got to meet Cesar from Geek U, the biggest
Yeah.
Saint Seiya YouTuber.
Yeah, they mentioned Chelsea to you guys and to me as well. So it's like you guys like that's beautiful. He's such a nice dude.
Yeah, he is. He's fantastic. He unfortunately was, I think, as or just as busy or even more so than Pollux. Because the moment that I didn't even see him before the concert, we got to meet him like a little bit and briefly after the concert.
Yeah,
But
we'll
because
mention more on that after the after concert.
yeah, the after concert, but he was basically like the entire fucking concert. He kept saying hi to people because he got stopped every 5 fucking seconds. So I completely understand him being so busy in that regard.
Yeah, it's like
But even if it was briefly, it was very nice to meet him in person.
it's like
Yeah, so
yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say it's equal. Like I use this as like I use to say it's like you're running like a chicken without its head, just like frantically just running around, just not knowing where left and right is at that point. So I understand completely how things like that can go, especially when you're like, especially when you're on like trying to like you gotta like make sure you meet with everybody at least once and stuff like that. So like that. So like I totally understand like if you like I totally understand too if like you missed out on someone or two. But Jackie, you're about to say something?
No, just that it was like I ended up meeting so many more people that they knew me and I didn't know them. But and I'm so sorry about that. But thanks to Ben because he actually it was funny that to meet Matti and his friend. He's in them there, and of course
Felipe.
Ben had his epic one liner. He's like I brought excuse my Chilean. Te traje dos huevones.
I was about to drink
Yeah,
water.
yeah. Because
I laughed at that too, but it's true. And actually, yeah, I was really glad to meet them.
yeah, because Mati and Durdo, they went with other two friends that are also part of their staff from Chile. So they were the four of them, Felipe and Dario as well. And I took Mati with I think it was Felipe to meet Jackie, and I told them, oh, she's actually, even though she lives in the U.S., she's actually from Chile. And then, oh yeah, we'd love to meet her. And then I took into them, and because I was being cheeky, and I also have another Chilean friend. Like maybe I don't want to think I overstepped my bounds, but I was doing it in
No,
good humor.
I thought
So I arrive and I say, hey Jackie, te traje dos hueones.
I was almost losing it, but I thought it was really funny. But all of us are pretty good. And hey, in my house, you hear that fairly often. What can I say? We're all Chileans here.
Yeah.
But yes, it was really awesome to meet them. We got to I think they were some of the ones I chat with the most, and I got to take. I took some pictures. They took some pictures with Plushy Hyoga too.
Aw.
Yeah, so did Ben, cause I don't know if he put it up or not, but
I think I saw some
very
pictures.
cute.
I think he has a few pictures on his Twitter. I think I did share it as well. So if I
Yeah,
haven't,
there was,
if I haven't, I will put the I will like retweet those as soon as possible.
who else did I meet next? Oh, and I met Alex from Dame Tu Fuerza Pegaso because I
yeah.
told Ben, because hey, I have this. I don't know who would want this episode G stuff, and I didn't realize at the time that Alex really likes it, so he went to find him and brought him to. So we met, and I gave him all the episode G stuff. Or no, I
That's
think you
cool.
gave it to him, right? Yeah.
Well, we both gave it to him, and yeah, he was really, really happy. And that the one thing about Alex is that you can genuinely see whatever he's feeling, like in his face, and you could see the pure joy of receiving those gifts. And as he posted it on his Twitter later as well, he was very, very happy to have gotten them. Because yeah, when Jackie told me like I don't know who to give the episode G stuff to, like my mom was like, I know the guy. I immediately knew who to go for, because I unfortunately had the pleasure of meeting Alex in last year's concert as well, although a bit more briefly. But this time I also got to talk a little bit more with him, and we got to talk a little bit closer as well. And yeah, when I saw that Jackie had that, I was like, oh, I gotta go tell Alex that he'll really appreciate this. And yeah, he did.
That's
And
really
I'm glad
cool.
because otherwise I probably wouldn't have met him either, because everybody was busy talking to other people, and mostly me. I was trying to flag down a lot of the cosplayers and get their pictures, and of course, for the picture, I gave them a baggie and a postcards. And
Oh.
honestly, I'm just surprised how fast it went. I didn't
Oh.
think we were gonna give out everything.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Alex, speaking of an Alex, and speaking of cosplay, we also got to meet one of our dear viewers, Alex Due, there
Yeah.
at the concert.
We
From
did.
Canada. From Canada. I believe.
Yeah, that's
So,
right. He came all the way over here. This time he came by himself, but fortunately he had a friend here from Mexico that he met. I think he met her last year, or I don't remember. He told me, but basically a new friend he met from here. So he was able to through her, get around and stuff like that. So he didn't really have too much trouble moving around, from what I was able to tell. And I'm really happy that he also got here to experience Mexico a little bit more. I would have liked to talk with Alex a little bit more, but I'm actually very happy, because if you go to his Twitter, you can get to see that he took a lot of pictures with a lot of people. Like a lot of people were stopping him to get pictures with him.
Yeah,
Because
he was
took his-
Seiya.
yeah,
he took his overture Seiya cloth cosplay, and he was shining there, and a lot of people were looking for him to take a picture with him.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you, Alex, for the origami Pegasus that you gave me. I still have it.
Thank you so much for that beautiful Pegasus origami, which mine, of all things, coincidence, it matches Shoko's Eculus cloth. So I'm definitely going to be displaying it with her.
So just to let you guys know, because I'm privy to a lot of the information about, like, because she shared this information. A lot of that armor he made is actually made out of leather.
Yeah, I saw that he made it from leather. It looks fantastic,
he-
and it was even better because being leather, they didn't stop him from bringing it in.
So yeah, so like he put a lot of effort in. If you haven't seen, I retweeted a couple of photos already, but I know he's such a nice dude, and I really do appreciate, I really appreciate you guys got to meet him up with that.
Yeah.
Meeting him up. So
Yeah,
Thank you also for waiting for us, because I was way on the other end too. We had to make our way to him. So I'm really glad, he took the time that, at least even if it was for that minute that he met with us.
yeah.
So thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex. It was nice seeing you again, dude. You know that you are always welcome here, by the way.
of course, the door is always open for like any of the any English speaking fan. We always appreciate it.
Oh yeah, him and anybody. If another event eventually ever gets done, like if you happen to have the opportunity to come, you're more than welcome you're more than welcome here, and you're more than welcome to talk with us, and if you need help or something, to reach out to us so that we can help
Yeah,
out if we can.
likewise. That, like, for me, this was a learning experience, and I learned a lot. But I'd definitely be more than happy to, like, give you information, what to look out for, things like that, because it's important. You want to make the most of your trip. So if at any point, you guys send us questions about that, we'd be more than happy. We're gonna send them on air too.
Yeah, but regardless, we can discuss things like that later on. But let's get to the actual concert itself. Let's talk about like how you guys how everything was like how the actual concert with the symphonic and everything how the sound and everything. Now that you guys are already situated, you guys met and met most people at that point. You're just sitting down, the lights go off, and I saw the intro and I actually kind of hilarious that they actually got Eliana Costas to come back and do like a little mini thing for them as well. I found that really interesting that they did that. And then like Noah Yamada came out and they played an orchestrated version of Pegasus Fantasy. So starting at that point, what were you guys' thoughts? How was the music? How did it feel and all that stuff? Why don't I start with Benkas?
Oh, okay. I would actually like to have Jackie tell her thoughts before I
Jackie
go.
then. Jackie, please.
Oh,
First.
okay. Well, Becca was the one who helped me actually find my way out to where I was supposed to find my seat because it was also on the lower level, and I actually had a really great view where I had no one in front of me, and I was also on the side that you could see where all the singers, Nobu Yamada, and Yumi Mitsusawa and Irma Flores, that when they were sitting there waiting for it, and whenever it was their cue to go on stage. So actually,
cool.
that gave me a bit of so that gave me a good heads up whenever I wanted to record something, especially like if somebody wasn't a singer was gonna come on. But yeah, I knew the moment that when Nobu Yamada went on stage, people started singing. You could feel that energy, like it just went on. And what can I say? That I really love how they set up the stage. I don't think they had much at all props this time, but instead it was more focused on multiple panels displaying different character art.
Yes, you talked about
That's related more or less to whatever was being played on stage, to keep with the thing, like if it was something Asgard per se, it was Asgard and so on. And above the ceiling, above the orchestra, what I really liked is that they had this display of the constellations. I thought that was really cool.
It was amazing. It was beautiful.
I saw like you took pictures of all of that, and I really did. I really like it looks really good. Like the set looks incredible this year. And I do like I do like the fact it's like they were kind of like whatever they were kind of themed like whatever like thing was going on, like if they were talking about like if they were doing a piece on if they were doing a piece on Asgard, they'd cut to like Asgard characters and footage from Asgard, or if they're talking about Hades, they'd use like Hades characters and Hades art stuff like and so on and so forth. It looked really cool, and there's a lot of and like you said, it benefited as well that you were sitting in that position because like you were taking photos for us for the podcast from your location. And it looked really beautiful seeing a lot of that stuff, like even from your perspective.
Yeah, no, I mean pretty much the way you saw how I recorded. That was the perspective I have even when not recording, and so I could even lean back a bit in my chair, and it was like perfect. I cannot actually. You know what was odd? I think that there was like 3 short rows in front of me that I think they may have been supposed to be in the vine, but for whatever reason, nobody was sitting there either. So even though regardless if I was gonna have a clear view, I had nothing blocking me.
I'm pretty sure they blocked those off for like for crew, like for like because you said they were recording stuff, so I'm pretty sure that was for like the recording crew, so they can block everything else, so they can like transfer things back and forth and stuff like that. Most likely,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Possibly, and also the fact that I know for a fact, unfortunately, that some of the Divine Zone tickets got into the hands of resellers.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that those are the tickets that they weren't able to resell.
Uh-oh.
Some of them, anyway.
I did see some people actually. I checked the thing back in August. I did see some Divine Zone tickets did become available on that Super Bowl later. So I guess there was some people that had to cancel ultimately. Fortunately, Divine. So I wish I wasn't able to grab those, but
yeah, I didn't know about that until the very day of the concert. I think the Huninis were the ones that told me that happened, and that's how they were able to get some of their tickets.
That's still pretty. It's like it's a very risky because you don't know if you're gonna grab them or not, and then end up without a ticket at all.
Yeah. If that was the case, then I could have gone to like some like skeevy corner or like outside the venue, and I could have gotten for like $100 easily, like a Divine Zone ticket if I really wanted to.
But no complaints because at least for the gold song, I had an excellent chick. I think I would have been like the near divine. It was near divine sound.
Oh, that's cool.
What did you want me to? I think I didn't think Noble Yamada was gonna come out right off the bat for the very first song
Me
for
neither.
some reason. But yeah, I don't know. Like I expected like an orchestra beginning, but no, he came up on the stage right away.
I mean, I'm looking. I mean, if you would have looked at the program, like the spoilers would have been right there. Like he was gonna come up first.
I avoided looking at that like the plague. I
Okay,
wanted
I
to
don't
be
blame you.
surprised as much as
Okay.
possible.
I didn't want to look. I didn't want to fight with the back from hell that was ripping.
Okay, you guys have two you do have valid reasons not to look at it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, no, I saw the opening and how this set up and it's like I've heard the song so many times, different variations, very different ways of listening it, but the way that they actually got the way it was done with an actual with an actual orchestra was incredible. Like that is something that I cannot stress enough was really cool to be even seeing on video was incredible.
The thing for me that definitely says you're experiencing the live, that where you could say it definitely paid off all the effort put into going to these live events. When you start feeling that reverberation in your chest and your heart, the music's live. It's like you hit the ultimate experience.
Yeah. So like let's like let me look here. I'm looking through the program right here. Was there anything in the first part that caught your attention that was like really riveting? That you any particular song that you got that you like, Jackie?
I'm trying to like what. I was actually surprised at when Nobu did the Soldier's Dream because not being his song originally,
Yeah.
I didn't want to expect. But I think once maybe I've listened to a version of the song by him. I didn't like it at the time, but at least when I heard him live, I thought he did excellent with it. So, and it's my favorite opening. So what can I say? I really enjoyed it.
Well,
It's like I just wanted to sing along, even though I probably don't know half the lyrics
Fair
of the
enough.
song.
Fair enough. Bejas, your take on like on the beginning of the beginning of the concert, and also like anything in particular from that first part of the concert that you really enjoyed.
Of course. Well, I loved every single second of it, every single millisecond. But okay, the way that it was, like, I have to be completely honest here. I, for the life of me, cannot remember the lady presenter, the one that they put the clip of, and that everybody's like, "Oh, how nostalgic!" Or like, "Oh, I'm so happy they put
It
this."
was Adriana de Castros. She was,
Yeah. For the life of me, I don't remember seeing those kids. I don't remember them. I just remember watching the TV show. I was like, who the hell is her? So that was like a whoop.
Yeah, but
Okay,
but yeah, I saw the video of her doing this one, and I know she does she's really cool with the fans. She's really cool with all that stuff. Like, I know she does stuff with Bandai. She does a lot of stuff for Bandai with when they were making the anime hero. She was actually helping promote it. So she's like, despite her like moving on, despite like her like being actually, I think she's actually like legit like a legit like a legit reporter. She still will take time and do stuff like this. So like that's props to her for still like doing stuff like that for the fans.
Oh, that's so nice, and I'm glad because obviously, even though I wasn't one of them, you can clearly see that a lot of people reacted very
Oh,
positively to that.
absolutely. I'm like
a lot of people love seeing that, and I'm happy with that because you felt the history of and the impact of Saint Seiya in Mexico. Well, specifically talking because that was a Mexican commercial about that, and also something about that intro that gave me the feels, and I almost teared up in that moment was because they passed out one of the commercials for the figures.
Yes.
For the early for the
Saint Myth
what
Cross.
are they called? The Saint Cloud series.
yeah,
For the
and they
Saint Cloud series.
really the opening.
And yeah, and it was a line read by the late Jesus Barrero,
Yes.
the original voice actor for Seiya. And here he was like, oh, even if it's in the small way, hearing you here.
Yeah.
I got feels too, like from there. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
like, even I got a bit emotional.
I remember when I was playing. I remember I felt the same way too when I was playing Soldier, like Soul of Gold. What is Soul of Gold the one for the Soldier?
No,
it wasn't for the PlayStation 4. The one that was also on PC because like they had like the movie.
Soldier Soul.
Soldier Soul, thank you.
Yeah.
Like it has a Spanish dub, and like I was like one of his last recordings, and it's just like playing in Spanish was like kind of like I felt that way too. I was like, shit, this is like the very last time I get to hear him as Seiya. So yeah,
it was
so like
emotional.
I don't blame you for feeling that way when they like I know it's something like I know it's something small, but you gotta realize like like it's something that we grew up with, and it's something like hearing that voice again, kind of like hits that kind of hits you in the feel. It's like. Like I said, I saw that intro and like yeah, like I didn't process that way, but I'm pretty sure that I'm really like, oh shit, yeah. But keep going.
Yeah, so seeing that was just fantastic. And then obviously you see Nobuo Yamada come out and everybody's excited. The excitement is there. I'm feeling it as well. I'm super, super excited for what's about to happen. And then like the countdown begins and then the orchestra begins playing again, a bit redundant, but an instrumental orchestral version of Pegasus Fantasy with Nobuo Yamada singing it and just acing it, man. Obviously his age since he sang the original song, but he still has that magic and that power in his voice that's
He does.
undeniable
His
and
voice is
unquestionable.
powerful. To be honest, I
Yeah.
didn't even realize that he was like almost 7. I knew he was like older, but I didn't know he was like that old. So
Yeah. And he nailed it. Like he
He
just
nailed
simply
it.
nailed it, and he grabbed us by. Well, he grabbed me. I'm not gonna speak for everybody else. He grabbed me by the balls, and he didn't let go. And the moment that he started singing, I was as well. Dakishimeta. And I sang the entire song. All the songs I sang them from beginning to end. And I destroyed my voice doing that, but I don't care. It was worth every second of it. Even though beside me was not a fan of my singing.
I don't, but hey, when you're in the moment, when you're right there, when you're like when the energy is that high, when everything just lights up like that, you cannot like say no. You cannot, even if you don't know the lyrics, even if you like half-assed it, it's in your soul. You know what's coming up, and you want it, and you're feeling that energy within you. So
Yeah,
that's
and I think yeah, it was amazing. And I think somebody told afterwards, but apparently Nobuo was kind of not kind of, but he was happily surprised to see a lot of people like singing back in Japanese.
that is.
But you could absolutely hear the audience by all means. We could hear each other like it was.
And
Yeah,
the audience singing
if
back.
if you look for any of the videos, you will definitely hear at the very least somebody singing it in the background besides Nobuo. Or Yumi or any of the other singers, like people were very excited for that, and you could see the passion and the intensity in most of our faces and the happiness of being there. And one of the things that I was very happy to see that did caught Nobuo a little bit off guard, but in a good way, was after he does Pegasus Fantasy, and obviously he steps out so that they can proceed to the next song. But as he's leaving the stage, people start chanting Nobu, no. No, and then I saw how he kind of like he was surprised by that and turns around and he smiled as that was happening, and then he leaves the stage.
Yeah, I'm very sure he was very elated because I'm pretty sure like he's done. I'm pretty sure he's done a million of these concerts, and I'm pretty sure it's the first time in a very long time he's actually had like an arena full of people screaming for him.
Like the thing is, like obviously every audience can be very passionate and very intense. So, but one thing that I would like to say as a Latin American person and is we have something here. I don't know what it is, but every time some artists from the US or from Asia or from Europe come here, they always are pleasantly surprised to see the level of energy, passion, and enthusiasm we show here. Like, not to say that the other countries and cultures don't have that, but there's something about the way that we show it that it always gives a good surprise to those artists. And I think that this happened the same here as well. And I was very happy to see that in his face, even if it was just briefly.
So were there any outside of Pegasus Fantasy? Was there anything that caught your attention, like with any song that they played that actually caught your attention from that first part of the concert?
Yeah, two of them. One because I was surprised. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, the two songs that caught me by surprise. First, I'll say was the first one was Blue Dream, and the second one was You Are My Reason to Be.
Oh,
okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
They actually sang that. Okay, got my attention.
Yeah. Okay. The reason why Blue Dream caught me off guard is because obviously we knew for a while that Nobuo and that Yumi were gonna be guests here, but we also knew that Mauden was gonna be participating as well. For the life of me, I swear to you that I thought that the way that it was gonna be handled was they were gonna have Nobuo sing his songs that he sang originally, and then they were gonna have Mauden do the songs that were sung by Hideaki Kageyama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that they were gonna handle it like that. So I thought Soldier Dream and Blue Dream were gonna be sung in Spanish by Mauden.
Which I actually personally kind of hoped for, which I'm not.
So
I'm not complaining, but I am. But yeah, that
I love Mauden. I love Mauden, but unfortunately, there are a lot of people that don't like the Spanish version of the songs. So, and I get it. You know, if you're gonna bring the original singers or the artists from Japan here, you want them to have more participation than just a couple songs. So the thing that caught me off guard was not only the fact that Mauden was not singing the Blue Dream, but the fact that it was Nobuo Yamada the one that sang it. Nobuo Yamada sang Blue Dream in an official capacity, which apparently, from what I was able to learn later, it's the second time in the entire history of that happening where it occurred. I think he did it in France as well the first time, and this is the second time he's done that, singing the Hideyuki Kageyama songs.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So and hearing his rendition, because obviously he put his own spin to Blue Dream, but it was still fantastic. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, people
I
were
loved
the
it.
lights, and
People were
everybody was
crying,
waving.
People were waving. People were using their cell phones, but like instead of using the lighters, they were using the cell phones for the lights in the background, and you could see a lot of people. It looked beautiful. It looked just fantastic.
Yeah,
and everybody.
Again, that's just something that they do a lot of. That's something they do a lot recently, like not just concert, but like everywhere now. It's because like you can't bring lighters in. Your next best thing is to just turn on your phone and just do that.
Yeah, so it was beautiful, and his rendition was astounding. And then the other one that caught me by surprise and I think was a real standout was "You Are My Reason to Be," because as far as I am aware, it has never been played in an official capacity anywhere before. I mean, I could be wrong about this, but as far as I'm aware, it hasn't been.
I doubt it, and I don't think any of the artists that sang it before are with us, unfortunately. So,
well, I think I don't even know who the artists for the song are in Japanese. I don't know if it's.
So is that What's the Makeup then?
No, it was
no.
No, it was an English. There were two. I want to say they're two American singers.
No, because they also sing in Japanese. Like part of the lyrics are in English and part of the lyrics are in Japanese.
But most of the lyrics are in English, though. Which that's actually a really curious. So
it's sung. The English stuff is sung by Oren Walters, and the Japanese stuff is sung by Hitomi Toyama.
Yes. So they mix both English and Japanese lyrics into it, and the way that they handled it in the concert, it was they had Mauden play the male portion of the song alongside Yumi Matsusawa playing the Japanese version of the song, and they nailed it. It was beautiful. It was an amazing performance from both of them.
So good news, Oren Walters still with us.
Oh, good to know.
No, nothing on Hitomi Toyama yet, but like Oren Walters. Still with us, fortunately.
That's good.
But keep going.
But yeah, basically those were like the standouts to me because even though they played a lot of songs from the third movie last year, this was not one of them. So I was very happy to see that, and I was able to. I was happy to see that even though that was the only song that Mauden sang at, he nailed the performance and it was beautiful, and it was, I think, a perfect way to bring him into this without disturbing the flow of the. Them singing the Japanese songs and also having him participate with Yumi Matsusawa was something very unique.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly blanked out on those, but I have to 100% agree with Ben because those were like excellent nailed. And to me, it was like the only thing is like, why? I wish they would have the Marindel at least one more song. I get it. Yeah, we wanted to mostly hear, of course, the Japanese voice, the singers, but I feel like Marin deserved more than just one song.
Okay. Also, good news too. Tomi Toyama's still with us as well, and she actually just released. She actually just released the album in 2021.
Oh, good. That's nice to hear.
So, actually, no, 2015, but still, I think she's retired. But like, hey, that good on her. apparently she's been in the okay. No, she's not retired. She's still in the industry, but she's been working since 1981. So it's like she's
it's been a
working
while.
it. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm fact tracking here.
No, don't worry. No, it's good to know those facts as well because those are the couple facts that I don't know that like I got on the top of my head and that I need to know.
Okay, but keep going.
But yeah, no, basically that was like those were the even though everything was astounding for me. Like, well, okay, I'll get into like some of the minor details like after we talk about the concert in general. But to me, everything was perfect. Everything was amazing. But I would say that those were the two pieces that stood out to me because of those reasons.
All right.
From the first act.
All right. So, we're moving on to the second act. Well, so you guys had an intermission, and you guys had this. Then you guys had a second act. So, anything from the second act that got your attention, Jackie?
Yeah. Since I've mostly felt that they gave way too much attention to that fourth movie, which personally I'm not too into. But anyway, of course, everybody was waiting for Yumi Matsusawa's performance of Kyuki, which from what I think they actually translated in English to us globe or the globe, the earth, whichever way.
Mm-hmm.
But what can I say? It was beautiful. It was mesmerizing. You tell me, it was a whole experience, and everybody was singing along, waving their phones. It's like that was the song everybody was waiting for. And the other thing that was, I forget, I think this came afterwards. There was a surprise appearance by Maggie Vieira, who did the Spanish versions for the openings and endings of Saint Seiya Hades.
That's
so
cool.
It was cool, but I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I like the idea how they did a duet, but the thing is that they were doing a thing of like mixed Japanese and Spanish, and this is just my perspective. I know that who knows how much they were with the practices, but I kind of felt like they could have done a little bit better blending, the timing, because it could go two ways with this like dual language songs that it can go really well, or it can seem like somebody's lost in translation or what they were supposed to sing. And unfortunately, I got a bit more of that feeling. It was still beautiful by all means, and they both have beautiful voices. But yeah, it was a surprise. But I wish it could have been done a little bit better.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I'm pretty sure both. I'm pretty sure that I think like either the fact is like they haven't practiced out for a while, or they just weren't in sync with each other. That could have been one of the many problems as to why the song didn't quite work.
Yeah,
maybe not work for you, but maybe it might work for others. But we don't know. But so was there anything else?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, and this was really on the first one, but just small thing that I thought it was funny that it was like 2 episodes and we were just grilling so much Alberic.
Oh, God.
And then of all things, they give us this whole orchestra section that's just all Alberic. It's like they were just mocking us in our faces.
I would have laughed. They would have kicked me out. They would have kicked me out of the stadium for like laughing so hard if I was there. Like, sir, we need you to leave. You're disturbing the band. I don't care. We got it up here on screen.
I don't think I uploaded it, but I did record. So just like it started me on Facebook. I'm like, oh my God.
I think you did send me a few photos, and I did post a few of those photos up, I believe, right?
Maybe I did. So I'll have to go back and play. Yeah, I thought that was particularly hilarious for us.
Yeah. No. I that is like no. You are absolutely correct. Like us, like we spent so long just like ripping a new one on this guy for like 2 episodes, and then it's like just them thrusting onto us.
Here I am.
Yeah, because the other thing, I know I was gonna jump in ahead, but let's just say there was nothing with Siegfried. I don't think there was much of Hilda either, or like no, we did see some of the others, but not much. But no, freaking Albert got a whole section to himself. That was like such an in your face, you MFers, like that. That's what I mean.
I would have like real talk. Like I've been kicked out of like 2. I've been almost kicked out of like 2 movie theaters for like laughing too hard. And I would have been kicked out of a third. I would have been kicked out of that theater too if they would have done that. If they would have done that, if they would have shown that to me, and I was there like, sir, we need you to get out of here. I don't care. That is the most that is the most fu thing ever. Anyways,
Yeah, and then I'm jumping here now towards the end of the concert, but of course the biggest surprise to me at the end was that how we're talking about that they're probably not going to do songs that's outside of the anime franchise, you will. Because my biggest disappointment was that they did not do Diamond Dust live. I wanted to cry over that. But instead, to close the concert, Nobu starts singing End or Next, which is from Saint Seiya Awakening, the game from Tencent.
oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, so can we get Eternal Feather there from Jumi Matsuzawa?
I was about to say too. Like I was gonna say too. Why didn't you follow it up with that? Sorry. It's like you tell my attention.
Like, because I really was thinking we were gonna get encore, and I mean that would have been perfect. One last song.
And that was our official song for a little bit until we realized Yumi Matsuzawa is very much in like has her ear on things. I was like, I don't want to get stuck. If there's anything more powerful in this universe, it's lawyers, and I don't want to get caught by her lawyers. So
you tell me,
but
what they can and cannot sing.
But still, that song, I love Eternal Feather so much. I thought it was like that is such a great song, and I'm so sad that they didn't let her sing that.
I know, I was really disappointed. I would have any version there's two from Yumi Matsuzawa. There's first two, but the first version was sung by Maimi, but it was Yumi Matsuzawa that actually wrote the song.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, I guess when the Tencent game, sometime after the first anniversary of the Tencent game in Japan, she did a collab song with them, and then she re-released her version of Eternal Feather.
Yes.
In Japanese. And then some months later, she did a second version, more like upbeat version of Eternal Feather.
Yes.
I love all of them.
Yeah, the more upbeat one is the one that if you play the game, you've heard this song many, many times as you turn it on. But okay. With that said, why don't we move on to Bangkok?
Yeah.
What were some of your favorite? What were your favorite songs from the second part of the concert?
The thing is, I have almost the same opinion as Jackie, but okay, I'll say this: the entire concert in itself was amazing. Okay, the two pieces that I think were the standouts of the second act were definitely, without a doubt, End or Next, which is the song that closed off the entire concert, but I'll get into that a little bit later. And also, Chikyugi was just listening to Yumi Matsuzawa's voice live, singing that song, a song that has made me cry for decades now. Even though I didn't cry in the concert because I think I was too filled with adrenaline that I was just smiling and grinning from beginning to end and throwing my voice. I sang every single song that I knew from the concert there. It was elation to describe it in one way or another. However, the entirety of the second act, I think that for me, I loved it. Particularly, okay, I know that a lot of people are not too fond of the fourth movie, even though I really, really like it. But I think that the fourth movie in itself has some of the best, most haunting melodies of Saint Seiya. Many of the melodies that are used for the Hades chapter are taken from the Lucifer movie.
Yeah,
and there's a reason for that. There is a certain there is no doubt that the great Seiji Yokoyama was just a genius in imbuing each song with a very specific feeling or a very specific emotion or a very specific ambience.
Yes.
And those songs definitely bring the darkness or evil. You really feel like something's evil hearing those melodies. But for me personally, there were two that were the standouts, if only because even though there were one instrument songs, they stood out like a thumb because of how good they were, which were the song for Siren Sorrento, Dead End Symphony.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was great.
Yeah,
that was great.
Amazing. The moment that I saw Poseidon, I was like, yes, Poseidon. And hearing that was like, oh yeah, beautiful. It was literally like hearing it from the CD. It was just impeccable, the interpretation. And
yeah. That one they got a standing ovation, or almost, I think. Some people actually did standing ovation.
Yeah, and the other one was, oh god, What was the one for Orfe?
Yeah,
Was it Elysium
yeah, I
or
think so.
Pandora's Harp?
I think
No,
it's Elysium.
Elysium. Okay, well that
Yeah, it
one.
was
Like,
played with a harp. Interestingly enough, but it was Orpheus section.
Yeah.
yeah, the funny thing about that melody is that it's somewhat of a simplistic melody. It's not that extravagant, but there is something very powerful about how you can feel like the true sadness like of Orfe in that melody. And you could see that in the images that were showcasing on the screen as well. So for me, those were like, even though like there weren't the songs that sell the most, like I would highlight those two songs for that reason as
Oh,
well.
didn't they also do Mimis Liars as well?
Yeah, they also did that, but that
That
was
was
for Act
actually
1.
good, really good too.
Yeah,
That was
it was
great.
really, really good. It was actually better this year. Something that I forgot to mention, because I don't think that you would realize this, Jackie, but the sound for this concert was actually much better overall than last
Okay.
year. Because last year there were a couple of instruments that didn't stand out quite as well. The harp was one of them because when they played it last year, you know that part when all the instruments kicking and you
Mm-hmm.
hear like the da 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 da. That part of the harp was very drowned down, and you couldn't hear it very well last year.
Oh,
And in this year, you could hear it perfectly well. Like all the instruments were perfectly balanced for this
That's good to
concert.
hear.
Like, yeah, they improved a lot on sound overall in general. There were a couple of technical issues here and there apparently, but I personally didn't realize any of them. Like those got pointed out by other people, and I was like, huh, I didn't notice that. But apparently there were. But like nothing is perfect, right? But like they were so minor that I didn't notice them at all. I
the
don't know if
only
you
things
noticed it,
I
Jackie.
personally noticed was just like some of the display images they were repeated on the screen. Like we had two
Yeah,
camuses to
yeah.
but I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. I think we can touch upon those after the concert. Yeah,
Yeah.
like those minor details. But the thing is, okay, those are the songs that stood out to me. But I'd like to say why I think. Well, Chikyu, yeah, I expressed already why it was so important for me and why it was so beautiful and why it stood out so much. But I think that it's very important because also another highlight that cannot go in question is that Nobuo Yamada, the song, the second to last song, the one previous to finishing with End or Next, was "Can't Say Goodbye, My Friends."
I was about to say they played. Oh my god, that is my favorite song from the entire series.
It's
That are
incredible.
there's two songs I absolutely love from Saint Seiya. That one, Can't Say Goodbye, and also Dead or Dead from like the supposed opening to Hades.
Yeah.
That is such a great song. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that like that song, it's amazing how even though it technically only plays for a minute or so in the
Mhm.
original anime and it only plays once, but how memorable and how good that song is that it just stood out and it still stands out even almost 40 years later, even if it was played only for like a minute. Like like that's when you know that a song is that good or it's that amazing, that even if it was just played for like a second and you still remember that, that's something to note.
Yeah, no, no,
So
no, no.
obviously that's also a highlight because Nobuo fucking nailed it, and almost everybody was singing it as well. I sung my lungs out this hearing it as
Yeah,
well.
you can. That one was definitely one of the songs that everybody was singing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
and that was a perfect. That was if that was the last song, that was a perfect song to end it with. But they played an encore, and I think the best choice to end it with. But
yeah. And here's the thing about Ender Next being no. Sorry, say your point first.
no, keep going. As I was actually gonna lead you into like talking. Keep on going.
Okay, sorry. Basically, the important thing about Ender Next is a couple things to mention about that. The first one is I learned this afterwards, but one of the reasons why they were able to have Nobuo sing that is because the rights to the song itself now belong exclusively to Nobuo Yamada.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Oh,
so he holds the rights to the song, so that's why he was able to sing it. Basically, I suppose that it was something that the organizers were able to plan with him in advance. I don't know for how long he's had it, but yeah, he has the rights to the song now, even though it's still part of the game and it will continue to be so. Like the one that actually owns the rights, and the reason why they were able to play them here is because Nobuo owns them. Uh, that's one thing. And another is the reason why that song is so important, not only because it's Nobuo Yamada singing a new Saint Seiya song in general. Like a lot of people could just like say, "Oh, it's just like the video game song, who cares?" Apart from the song being very, very good, and the reason why it holds so much importance specifically, and I think this is important because you could see that in the audience, a lot of people like there were 14,000 people in the audience, but only very few knew what the fuck was going on by the end, because a lot of people don't recognize this song. A lot of people haven't played the game, or a lot of people aren't like that hardcore into the spin-offs or the video games or the
They're not
extras of
us.
Saint Seiya. Yeah, exactly. And I think that was like a love letter to the hardcore fans, to the people that have not only are following Saint Seiya to this day, that continue to do so, that know about the spin-offs, that know about the video games itself, but also, and this is the way that I took it, and this is only my personal take on it. But because what is the purpose of that song in the game? The purpose of that song in the game is to be the opening act, and it functions as like the quote unquote unofficial opening to what a Saint Seiya Next Dimension anime would be, because that song is used to, like, it was used to announce that they were going to adapt parts of Next Dimension into Awakening. So it is basically like that's everybody almost agrees that if they made a Saint Seiya Next Dimension anime, Ender Next needs to be the opening. Like they probably are not gonna do that because Toei is Toei, but
Yeah.
it should be. It should be, and even if it doesn't ends up being that way, in my heart, it will always be like the opening for Next Dimension.
I think for most of us it will be. I know for me definitely. It's like already associated with it.
So yeah, and like beyond that, I think it was that the love letter to the hardcore fans, like, and the fact that regardless of if you knew it or not, that is something that will make this concert and this experience unique in the test of time. It's the first time, as far as I'm aware, and I think that I'm right in this, it's the first time that that song has been played live, and it might be one of the only ones,
Yeah.
if not the only one.
Interesting. Alrighty. So, any closing thoughts on the actual concert itself, Jackie?
Can I say it? It was so long, so many months of hell and crap to deal with just to get to this point, and it went by so fast. But I am so glad I got to see the second one live. I'm just like, well, then now it's open to speculation if they will ever do another Pegasus Fantasy concert. But to quote the words that were shown to us at the end, as on the screen, as Noble was saying, "End or next," this is the end of this concert cycle, pretty much. So it's definitely not out of the question, but it might be a couple of years, which is fine by me. I need to save up and stuff because
Same here.
lesson learned is that going as an otaku, as a Seiya fan, going to Mexico City is dangerous for your wallet. Having a concert on top of that, yeah. So I think it's in everyone's interest to have 2-3 years to prepare for the concert.
Yeah, but
I loved it. I'm good. What can I say? If I'm just glad that I was able to record at least some of it to bring back to share with us. Because if should there be one in the future, I implore you to do your best to go. This live concert experience, and I've been to some others for other stuff. There's nothing else like it. Being there in person, listening to the music live. It's like, I'm sure my 13-year-old self kid that first watched things, he would never imagine having this kind of experience. It's like a whole the whole circle is complete now. I could cry. I really could cry over it.
Oh my god! Don't, not yet, please. I wish I was there just to be like there. That's fine. But any closing thoughts on the actual concert itself, Pegasus?
Again. I think that saying what Jackie was saying, like grabbing some of that sentiment and also completing it with mine. I touch upon this on the Universal Saint Seiya program of the concert, but the way that I described it is that beyond just an event, because obviously there can be official events about any series, right?
Yeah.
And they always have something like special to them and stuff like that. But there is something magical about both concerts that have happened regarding to Saint Seiya, because they're not just events. They became experiences, like an experience that is going to be unforgettable for the rest of our lives, for those of us that live through it. And that it felt very special because it wasn't just about a simple concert of hearing music live. It was about celebrating this franchise that has proven both last year and this one means so much to so many people and showcases just how important this series is and the legacy of the people involved in it, the legacy of Seiji Yokoyama and the beautiness of the music, the legacy that that series left with all of us that were able to attend and the people that weren't. Like it's not just about, it's basically, I think as Jackie mentioned it or somebody else told me, it's like it was going to a very specific Saint Seiya convention. Like it was Saint Seiya from beginning to end, reading it at the moment that you woke to the moment that you went to sleep. It was just the purest and most hardcore Saint Seiya experience that you could ever have. So if there happens to be another one, that I genuinely hope that there will be in the future, I genuinely recommend anybody that loves this franchise to try and take the opportunity to come here, or whatever it might happen. Like it may not happen here, it might happen somewhere else. But whenever that happens, it is definitely worth it because it's something to remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So I would say, you know what? Even if there, I hope that's not the case, but even if there weren't to be another one, I feel like I checked off something big off my bucket list, like, because I wouldn't in a million years ever thought I would get to experience live of Force Saint Seiya. I know there have been some in Europe, in France, in Spain, but I would have never dreamed that they were actually going to do one of these things. And I'm just grateful whatever it was that brought me back into Saint Seiyaverse just in time to when this the concert took place. I'm grateful that there was a second half of it, so that I could attend and not miss out. Even if I couldn't go to both, I am so happy I got to go to one. It's very fulfilling.
So, so you guys, so you did mention there are a few after concert things you wanted to discuss. Jackie, you wanted to discuss a few things post concert. What do you want to discuss post concert?
Well, Banghouse will agree with him. Oh boy, did they want to kick us out really fast from the venue.
Uh-oh.
Boy, did they.
Yeah, it's like, keep moving. It's like, oh.
We're trying to say goodbyes here. No, you can't. Get out of here.
It was so annoying, man. Like I was surprised by that because I swear that last year, like the concert finished, and yeah, of course, people were leaving as it was finishing, but you could still we still hang out, and we hung out for a bit outside of the venue, like once it finished, and there was like a chance for an after party, so to speak, to be there and to socialize. Last year that happened, but this year was like, nope. It's like, yeah, but it's over. Get out of here. Just get the fuck out of here. Yeah, come on. Keep it in line. Just get out of here. Come on, people. Don't make a line. Fuck off. Like, it felt like that. And I even told Jackie, and I told her in English so that they wouldn't understand us. Like, gee, what stick do they have up their ass?
Yeah, but...
Like,
I want to point out this was Arena Ciudad de Mexico staff, not the concert staff.
Yeah.
Separate staffs. But I don't know what the hell was in the Arena Ciudad de Mexico staffs this year that they were just like, fuck off. Like they literally had that
it really
about
felt like that. It's like, people want to hang out with I get it that everybody wants to go, but come on, you can't expect people not to want to have a little bit of like post. They could have been like, okay, we give them 10 minutes and they start pushing them. No, but they were like, fuck off, like that pretty much. That's the vibe they were giving, not the words they use.
Yeah, that was one of the things that left a really bad taste in, I think, most of us. Because everybody wanted to hang out a little bit after the concert, but it was like, yeah, no,
I guess maybe other people you didn't get to before the concert.
Yeah,
that was my case. Yeah, which unfortunately, I couldn't meet Pollux, and but still, shout out to him. I did get to see him like far off when he was doing his show with the Azteca for the stream, but hopefully, let's just say he's on the priority list next whenever there's another concert.
He did. He said he'd send it like during his live stream. He did send his regards to you, and he did say some amazing words about you, and also to Benkas as well. So don't worry about it. He feels the same way, and he's such a great person, and like
Yeah, we did get to say hi to Cesar from Geek U really quick because again they were like really pushing us off. Like they might as well have pushed us down the stairs.
Yeah, they almost did.
They almost did.
Ori. Oy vey.
You know what was the thing that makes me angry about that? It's like they kept telling us to go down the stairs, and guess what? To go back to the parking lot, we had to go up the stairs again.
Oh yeah. So So yeah, you guys got kicked out, and that's the end of it. So I'm pretty sure at that point, Bangkok, you went back home, right?
Yeah, I after the concert, I took Jackie to her hotel. I gave her the stuff for her and for you, and then I drove back to my house. I live in another state, so I drove off. That's very close. It's very close to Mexico City, fortunately. So I got there around what was it, 1:30 p.m. more or less.
Like 1:30 a.m. Yeah, make sure they actually stayed awake. I told them message us and just make sure you made it home safely.
Yeah,
I'm actually worried about him.
yeah, like don't fall asleep on the road or something like that.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, no. I was like with a lot of energy until I got to my home. But I swear that the moment that I stepped foot inside my house, like, okay, everything up with me. I was like, yeah, I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, pretty much the same when I got back to the hotel. It's like, okay, I made it inside, dropped the stuff, the extra bed. It's like, okay, I just need to stay away for a little bit, make sure Ben has his back. But going back to after the concert, we did get to say hi, bye again to Netza, the Capricornio. I didn't get to actually say hi to the company. I did see him, so still cool. And yeah, I mean, the concert, honestly, my biggest pet peeve was just how they really kicked us out. Like the attitude that whatever they want to call them, they has, like they could have been a little bit more professional about it. But it was like,
Definitely.
no, it's like they were kicking us out like if we been kicked out of the concert or something. No.
Yeah.
It's like everybody F off.
Hmm.
But it was a good experience and also I had a lot of fun, Me and because we're talking in the car post concert, just going over like what we saw and all that. So
That's good.
there you go. There you go. And shout out to our MVP, which is Ramses, who was giving us support from here, posting all those pictures for us.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. Come on.
I ain't no MVP.
You were very attentive, man. It was really appreciated because you kept track on everything we were doing.
Yeah, because I couldn't really keep up with social media much at all. So my picture uploadings failed. And then we had that whole point that the internet just crapped out for everybody at the concert.
That's you guys were telling me, so you guys at one point just like you guys hit like a dead zone when you guys when the concert actually started. So like I don't blame you guys. That sounds pretty typical. But before I give my final thoughts on my end, I want to hear like how like you went back to your hotel and you had like I'm pretty sure you had like one or two more days left before you had to get.
Oh yeah, of course that Sunday I was mostly just dead at the hotel. Again, just went around the areas to like a nearby mall looking for Saint Seiya guided manga. Nope. Then on that Monday, I made it up my mind to go check bookstores again, and I was able to snag a couple more of the Saint Seiya guided mangas after again my adventure on the Mexico subway, which I'll definitely gonna have to like. I haven't even told these guys. I'll probably just have to like tweet it out because it's a long story.
Fair enough. Enough.
But again, I kind of wish I would have had more money. But I could have just bought more crap. That Freaky Plus is dangerous, and it may be beneficial if you want to go in and out fast. But there's also a lot to see and shop into. So you have been warned.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much it. I mean, then the last Tuesday I was there. There was a march going on, so I just chose to stay at the hotel and just take my time packing everything, and praying to God, hopefully they won't give me crap for all these books I'm taking because I have not shared the picture I took with how many manga books I was just bringing on top of everything. But it was once in a lifetime experience, and I don't know when I'll be back, so I had to do it. And I'm just glad I get back with so much manga.
So. All right, let's get started right now then. Let's start off with you, Jackie. Outside of the concert, because I know you didn't buy much at the concert, but outside of it, what did you pick up Saint Seiya wise?
I mean, I honestly was just the manga, the guidance.
It? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I mean, if you want to non-Seiya, non-anime stuff, I did bring back some chocolates with tequila.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, those are really good. And I'm like, I wish I would have bought more. Some coffee and I just don't know them like stuff for my. But I mean, for me, the biggest thing I bought for myself was really all those Saint Seiya guys. Oh, I did buy the volume 16 of Santa Show.
Oh, that's
At first
cool.
I wanted, but I knew it came with a postcard, though it wasn't any new art. But I like that the Panini edition actually has a dust jacket. So that has a thick one
Oh,
too. So I was like, you know what? Let me just get at least this one for my.
yeah, that's not.
So yeah, the edition is very nice. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta at least get one. What can I? There's a lot of places, unfortunately, I didn't get to go to that were on my list, but all the more reason for me to go back on a separate trip or a Saint Seiya trip too.
Hey, if they're like, we can discuss plans like that like another time. But Becas, you pick up anything that you pick up anything Saint Sale wise at the concert that you want to discuss,
Oh,
or
boy, did I? I did. I bought every single piece of merch they saw there.
Yeah, you know what? You might as well go because to me the one thing I liked was the notebook. But take it away, Hans.
Yeah, basically, I bought everything that they sold at the concert. Because this was the thing. Like they mentioned on their social media like a week beforehand that they were gonna have like a pre-orders for the bundles as well as for individual merchandise that you could purchase online before going to the concert, so that you could pick it there. And I knew that it was gonna be a shit show, like trying to just get in line and get the merchandise. I mean, not so much for me because I had the Divine Zone ticket, so the store wasn't as busy in that moment. But I wanted to avoid any risk, and I also wanted to get everything in there. So I unfortunately I've been saving quite a bit for some stuff as well, and I had the income to do so. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy both the gold bundle as well as the bronze bundle. That included pretty much everything that was sold in the merchandise that wasn't part of the gifts specific to the golden divine zones. So that was able to get the set of pins that sold out really quickly, by the way.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, those
Yeah,
did just
those
sell out quite
those freaking flew by quite quickly. I was able to get both the cups, the bronze saints and the gold saints cups. I was able to get both designs of t-shirts as well as the hoodie with Saga on the back. I was able to get. I purchased again a couple of extra a a couple of extra swag bags that I gave to Jackie and that also gave to
Thank
you.
you, my hero.
Yeah. And what else was there at the concert? What else was part of the merchandise? I've
the
forgotten
Well,
them.
the
notebook.
no, the
Ah,
light up notebook.
the notebook, obviously. I got it as well. So basically, yeah, all the items that were given at the concert, I was able to get them.
I did get receipt of a few of those items. So if I'll post a link to my to a VOD of from that because I actually made a live. I actually like kind of like did like a live unboxing of all the stuff. So if you didn't watch it, I do have a lot of all that stuff, and you guys can see a lot of that stuff. Especially the notebook. The notebook is really incredible in person itself.
Yeah, I didn't have
Yeah,
much in mind with the merch other than the notebook. 'Cause that's what sold me.
I mean,
yeah, it's just
at the notebook itself, I thought it was just gonna be a typical notebook, but no, yeah, I didn't know it lit up, and I was like, oh.
yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh, that notebook is gonna fly. Yeah, and it did, but it definitely had to get it because one thing is just to have the design on the cover, which obviously it always is good. But you know that having it light up and actually go down like da da da, that's just like those extra touches make it incredibly special.
Yeah, like for last year, it was just the logo for Caballeros de Zodiac, which was pretty cool. But I wasn't that. But when they did the fire gun, I was like, okay, this I gotta have.
Hmm. Alrighty then. So, okay. So, any closing thoughts on everything else before we close off the show? Bekas.
Yeah, what else? What more is there to say? I suppose that I could add up. Like we mentioned that there were quite a few details here and there, because obviously the concert wasn't perfect. There are a couple hindrances here and there. The thing that about the screens, for example, like in certain scenes where they repeated characters that was somewhat distracting instead of having characters that should have been there. Saw a couple of sound issues that apparently happened. I didn't notice them, but some people did, so must have happened as well. There was a bit of an awkward moment where Irma kind of got confused and she walked out of stage, even though she had to do another performance, and Maureen and Yumi Matsusawa came back out and then had to go back inside because Irma wasn't finished, but like those were minor things. The concert was just a legendary event. Like there's no other way to describe it. It was absolutely legendary. It was amazing. It was a once in a lifetime experience, and everybody was in the top of their game. Irma sang beautifully as always. All the singers, Nobuo, Yumi, Maggie, Mauren, all of them sang perfectly. All the musicians, the Orquesta Sincrofonia, they were just astounding. All the musicians were incredibly talented. The music of Seiji Yokoyama is just a blessing to listen to. It was undescribable. Like it was just amazing.
Any final thoughts on the concert, Jackie?
What else you want me to say? I had an amazing experience. Met lots of friends, new friends. I got to meet my co-host, which was amazing. It was one of a kind experience, and thank you for letting us share it with you. I know this podcast is going to end up being extra longer than usual, but I hope that us sharing our experience it's able to give you some of what we were able to experience.
So let me let me close. I'm gonna close this off with giving my thoughts from my end, from my perspective. I'm proud of you guys. I sincerely am. You guys, you know, you guys you guys took the initiative. That you guys said that you guys were going to do this, and you guys did it. I helped out a little bit. I helped out by sending you a few of those things, and a few more things are coming your way too. And I'm proud. I'm extremely proud that not only that you guys not only were you guys representing the podcast and everybody not only we got the word out a little bit better for the podcast, but you guys had a lot of fun, and that was the most important thing I wanted you guys to do. And I wish there was some way I can help you out, Jackie. To recuperate a little bit financially if possible, but you know.
Hey, I did it from the bottom of my heart. When I had a particular situation with even being able to travel abroad. So just when I had that like small hope that it could make it happen, I just jumped at it and I said, I'm part of this podcast. I mean, all the time it's just like, why not? Why wouldn't I want to do it? For me, it was fun. It was hard work, making all the posts, but people loved it. We got the word out, and I am so glad that whatever may Ram as a second time for me to join the podcast. I'm glad I did then because it was just all meant to be. And hey, yeah. I would have been in Mexico City, in September, had before all of this, and because you pushed me into the podcast, so it's a team effort. Anyway, I'm just proud of everybody here so big round of applause for all of us.
Yeah, but especially for you guys, and I feel bad not being there, and I saw a lot of people asking for me. I know Bullocks was asking for me, and I believe other people were asking for me as well. And like I said, just the stars weren't aligned at that time, unfortunately, because I personal things aside, I couldn't do it. But I would rather that I'm one of those types of people that's I would rather the opportunity go to someone else, and I'm proud that opportunity went to you guys. And you guys took advantage of it, and I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And I even said to myself, look, I justified not going by saying this to myself. I went to WonderCon almost at the 11th hour and I got to meet the cast of the movie, and I got to do all that stuff for the podcast, meeting the stuff for the movie and stuff like that. So for me, that I use that token for that was my token right there for me. And you guys if that meant you guys had to do if you guys had to do this, then so be it. That you guys had to do this, and you guys did a great job with it. Second of all, I'm very grateful to Pegasus and also to Jackie for all the stuff they sent back to me. I just said, it was an unboxed stream, and it's I'm a very emotional person. I'm a type of person that will cry at the first minute of anything. And I would I had to hold back tears when I was doing the stream because it's bad. It's bad. It's a bad look when you're crying on stream. But I had to hold back tears because it was like I got so much stuff from you guys, and I really do appreciate it, and so much like, so much like people asking for me, so much like I got all this stuff back as well, and it's just like, I don't know. I wish that there was better circumstances for me to be there and to be there to say hi to everybody. So, I am sorry I'm sorry if you were expecting me to be there, but unfortunately, just the stars weren't aligned, unfortunately. So, but hopefully, if the rumors are true that they're gonna try another type of concert next time, not in the near future, I'm definitely gonna see if I can try to get that. Um, but yeah, but thank you. But I do appreciate the kind words that you guys. That yeah, I did my best to help you guys out from home base, as I call it here, and I literally I literally booked the entire day just to help you guys out and all that stuff, because I knew you guys were gonna I knew you guys were gonna be busy. I knew you guys weren't gonna be able to get to everything. So I figured that I did my best as possible from home base to help you guys out as much as I can, and anytime I can, anytime that you guys need help on stuff like that, you need a word on anything like that, especially when it comes to something that we're all doing all together, definitely I'll be the first person to help you guys out for anything like that. And when I saw, I'm not gonna say I felt kind of bad, but I felt kind of like I wish I was there to help you at the very end, Jackie, when you're doing those last minute things. I wish I was there to help you do that stuff, because I don't like seeing. I'm the type of person that I want to help out. I'm not the type of person that sits down and does anything. I'm always asking, like, can I help out? Can I help out? And and always get the answer back, like, no, you're fine. You're fine where it is and stuff like that. Or it's something right by myself I can take care of or something like that. But it's like it does help. It does, it doesn't say it hurt me, but like I didn't make me feel like I wanted to help out a little bit more. And
No
You say you help. You
worries.
say you help a little, man, but in my eyes, you helped us out quite a lot. And trust me when I say this. Like, obviously, there were circumstances where, for now, you weren't able to be here. But it doesn't matter, man. You were with us in spirit from beginning to end, and you were always in our minds, and more than deserved. That, like, all those things that you got, like, you got it from the bottom of our hearts. Like, we love you, man.
Yeah.
You're always welcome here whenever the possibility arises.
all right. But yeah, but I do want to thank you. Not only do I want to thank you guys, but I want to thank everybody that posted pictures of like the merchant. If you guys got anything from a sticker or postcard, if you got one of the keychains from Benkas, or you got anything else that you would like to share from us that we gave you from the concert. If you're listening right now, we want to see that stuff. We want you to post pictures with it. If post with the merchandise that we want you to see as well. Just do anything you can, because I want to, like, I'm gonna pull back a little bit. Like, I'm not really necessarily salty, but I'm like one of those things where I wish we can do more. I wish there was more interactivity between us, between us the podcasters, and to the fans. And I want there to be so much more for it. I want there to be so much more like that kind of stuff, interaction between the fans and stuff like that. So if you can, just take a minute or two, just take a picture, and say thank you, or whatever. Spread the good word about the show. That's the only thing we ask. So, and then, like I said, there's so many other people that like Pollux and Cesarin and like Los Caballeros de Cunini, and like those the and like all everybody else that you guys met, that reached out to me and reached out to all you guys as well. You guys were so, you guys, thank you so much. I know I'm talking in a language that you might not understand, but under but give me a minute to say this in Spanish then. Me da gusto
Fine.
que me da muchísimo gusto que por lo menos ustedes pueden ayudarnos, y que podemos compartir nuestro amor de la serie de Saint Seiya con ustedes y con nosotros también. Basically, I just said that I'm very grateful that you shared your love to this franchise, to you, not just to us, but to also in return we get to share it back with you guys. So I'm really proud. I really am proud of you guys, and I really am happy about that. It all went really well. Um, we're running kind of long here, so let's make this really quick with the with our things that we had to like that we usually like close off, like the promotion stuff like that. So Jackie, you have anything you'd like to promote before we head out?
Nope, not at all. I think I've did a lot of promoting.
Remember,
So I'm good for a while.
Megas, you have anything?
Just
Go on.
no, I was saying, again, pretty much just really, any pictures that you got to share, just, give us, let us know if you got anything from us. We really appreciate it. And because, like how Ren has mentioned before, we're stuck in that algorithm hell. So I know for a fact there's a lot of people that are looking for English podcasts or anything, say in English, and they have yet to hear about us. So whatever you can share, that helps us out a lot.
Sounds very good. Megas, do you have anything you'd like to promote?
Yeah. Well, if you want, you're more than welcome to follow me at my social media. I am active on Twitter, which is at MexicanGeek502. I have an Instagram account, which is Crateris Benjas, and I also have a Pixiv account, which is El Benjas502. I intend to work on. I intend to keep posting Saint Seiya related stuff on all my websites, and I'm already making plans to work on more illustrations for this last part of the year and the upcoming year. And I have other things that I'm working on as well. So keep an eye out, and thank you if you do so.
All right. As for me, you can find all the information. You can find all of our show notes and everything else at our website www.secosmocast.com. Again, the address is secosmocast.com. I host another podcast called the Saturday Morning Squadron. Last episode, me and Rob had a long discussion about like just toys, and I realized one thing at the end of the episode. I was a pain in the ass to my mom. I feel really sorry. I was a pain in her butt, and I'm really sorry that I am. But regardless, there'll be a link for that as well. I also do podcasts. I also do not podcasting. I also do live streams as well. I stream a lot of video games. I've been streaming a lot of Castlevania games for Dot Level. It's a classic Vania challenge where we play a lot of the old classic Castlevania style games, not the ones that are like Metroidvania. So I've been playing a lot of those, learning a lot of those games by heart. Even games I didn't think I would be learning, I just like brute force my way into it, like Haunted Castle. I did not expect to like learn Haunted Castle, but here I am now. I'm like, oh my god, why the fuck did I learn? Why the fuck did I learn Haunted Castle? That game's a nightmare, by the way. You don't want to learn that game. No, you don't. But regardless, you can also hear too, you can also listen to all the other podcasts. You can listen to this podcast. You can listen to the Saturday Morning Squadron podcast live as we're recording it. Also there too. I also do a lot of like building streams. I just recently built a little SD kit. Not only did I build it, but I also painted it as well on stream, so you can check that out as well. I do a lot of things on the stream, so be on the lookout for that. And that is at twitch.tv/LRamses84. Again, the address is twitch.tv/LRamses84. With that said, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for everything you guys have. Thank you so much for everything you guys have been up to. As for me, I'm Ramses. That's Jackie. That's Benkas. I'll see you guys next time. Keep burning that cosmos. We'll stay in touch. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Goodbye.
Let us say bye, Jackie.
Bye.
Okay.
Didn't I?
Okay.
Bye.
Oh my god, where's the window? 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 Where's the window where I have to close this? Where's the window? Oh my god. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know what happened. I mean, I didn't hit anything. I don't know. Oh well.
That's fine.
Special.
That's
I think
fine.
maybe it got laggy. I don't know because. Ooh.
Alrighty, guys. I know we went long, and like so. I'll let you guys go. No post stream thing, anything like that. I think after this, I'm sorry to be like Arena Mexico here, but it's like hey, you guys go. You guys go do what you guys need to do. Go rest, go eat dinner and stuff like that. I have very cold pork chops here waiting for me. I think these are frozen because of like how long they've been they've been here. So I'll let you guys go. Okay.
All right.
All right, that was fun.
Yeah,
We
it was
really
really
wanted to
fun.
get that out of our.
I know, and I'm really happy that for all that stuff. But like, we can discuss this another time. We can keep on discussing things. But like for right now, I really do appreciate it. Like, I just don't want to keep you guys here any longer. So what you here? Fuck me. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
All right, then, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're still here, that was Bankhouse. That was Jackie. They're really two cool podcasters. So, and here, and also too, there's Rob here on the chat, and also Comey Byrne as well. Rob is Rubble P808. You know, if you have he's my co-host on the Saturday Morning Squadron, so he's cool. Comey Byrne, just one of my oldest and bestest friends in the whole entire world. Just all the love to them. Let's see who is online so I can send you to somebody. I think I know who I'm gonna send you guys out to, because this guy is so much fun to watch, and he's just like a pure like as I described him, he's like serotonin personified. So we're going to raid Gamma Chris. Gamma Chris is playing Resident Evil Code Veronica X, I believe. I think something happened with his stream, but he's back online. Hopefully things will be resolved. But if you guys haven't followed him, give him a follow. If you haven't just yet, we have a Discord. Please check out the Discord. Like, it's really like, I want more people on the Discord so we can so we can interact, and if you need another place where you can know when I go online, stuff like that, check that out. Check out the Discord link there as well. So why don't we go raid out Gamma Chris, and we'll head out from there. So thank you all so much for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. I will be the schedule will be posted later tonight, tomorrow. So with that said, guys, I will see y'all next time. We'll keep in touch. See y'all later. Bye.